Any sinks nearby for that, or?
So I don't know about radiation, but only about 2 or 3 feet of water is enough to stop most small arms fire.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, so if the nuke has like a pistol, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, standard situation there.
Let's see.
I apologize. I'm on a new headset and stuff because Blake's not here. So if things get too loud, just let me know because I'm not used to moving around with this.
Blake's not here? What an asshole.
Blake's in California.
Oh yeah, no,
I know.
Sam and I are working on
Call him
it.
an asshole.
We got something special for him next week.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, let me sit
Are you
up straight.
taking, like, having a photo shoot? What's going on?
Of the dogs? I bet he'd like that.
I
You
was
dress them
thinking
up
of
in
you,
little
but yeah,
outfits. One of them
sure
could
the
be a little
dogs.
firefighter.
Yeah, he took, oh my God, he took Dante with him because it's a work trip and Dante is now a working boy. And I get more updates on how Dante is doing than anything else, including how the loudness and frequency of the dog snoring. So,
It's very important.
Dearest Sam, Dante reached 24 decibels on his exhale. I fear for the worst. All right, well,
don't worry, I'm sure you guys will hear all about it next week.
I'm sure. Well, let's get into this session, this introductory episode of Roll's Lawyers. Hey, before I start, if any of you are looking to purchase maps for any of the campaign modules that are out there, there is this wonderful artist on there named Tessa Presents. You can find her on the DM's Guild. And she's awesome. She shared with me a map that she has not yet released so that we could play on it tonight before I buy the map pack when it comes out in a couple weeks. Tremendous, 10 out of 10. Would recommend again. Let me know if you're considering maps.
These are the alternate maps for the module.
Yeah.
Are you telling me I would have to put away my Mike Schley boner?
Listen, I love Mike Schley, but like, there's almost no Mike Schley in this book, or the last book,
It's so
or
sad.
the book before
I know.
that. And like,
Oh, why do you hurt me?
I don't get it. Like, I'm sure he's very reasonably priced.
His maps in Curse of Strahd are so good.
He's old school. He's been doing this since like at least 4th edition. Anyways.
Okay, sorry.
But she is an excellent source of maps. Anybody ever gets interested.
Say your name again?
Tessa Presents Maps.
One more time?
Tessa Presents Maps. Yeah, Tessa Presents Maps on Reddit. And the DM's Guild. I'm going to do a quick recap, and then we're going to kick this thing off. So.
Cool.
Now that I've got my warm-ups done. Last session. Well, I didn't think that it could be done. Without Akash, I thought that this was a battle that couldn't be won. Red was shed, but you saved his hue, and blue was dead, but still with you. A goblin with a stolen this and a pilfered that joins the fray with his golden cat. Pressed by voices of the lost, he wields the trinkets of what he's tossed. And a man determined not to step on toes rides awkwardly towards your winged foes. He comes to you in urgent need and fights with faith, but not with steed. Strong companions they turn out to be as the people of Vogler make haste to flee. You face the Draconians and their foul gases, you throw them down upon their asses, before you burn the ogre to proper ashes. This is the legend that you have crafted, and in the capital you have been drafted. You've garnered aid for refugees and humbled nobles, pride with ease. There is time still for a bard's tale yet to ring, so I ask you what you do, if anything.
Hey, that rhymed.
Yeah, that was
You did a lot of work
amazing.
for that, didn't you?
That was great.
At least 5 minutes.
All right, session's over, everyone.
Yeah,
We did it.
that was.
We did it.
We can't beat that.
I can't wait to have that be my ringtone for the next 3 weeks.
I'm cringing so hard for you.
Amazing.
So, recap is done. Oh, look, you changed it to, you got a little goblin. A little goblin boy.
Yeah. the dice goblin.
What would you like to do?
Goblin frightens me. I have not slept in a long time, except for being unconscious. I propose we do some of that.
All right. You can arrange to do so, and in fact, you have been provided some limited quarters. Someone will need to report back to the people of Bogler and Bear Raven to let them know how things turned out. Darrett is kind of ushered aside. It seems like the Marshal has plans for him. And not too long after you separate, Osborne Sunbrook, your newest companion, he quickly goes over a laundry list of things that he has to do, and so he says he'll make time. But as he is now effectively part of your fighting squad, he will return to see you soon. For the rest of you, though, the day is yours.
Now, I didn't have time to shop, but I definitely want to try to get these gems out of this golden cat, because it's a pain in the neck to carry this forever. And then try to either sell them or just hold on to them because they seem valuable.
Do you have any sort of... go ahead.
I was just going to ask, are you going to melt down the gold or anything, or?
It takes some. That might take a while.
Are you trying to do this yourself, or are you going to a professional?
I would try myself first, considering I plundered this, so...
How do you want to get the gems out?
Well, I have some daggers.
All right. Make a dexterity check.
What would the appropriate tool for this be? A jeweler's kit?
I would say a jeweler's kit.
That might be the only instance of using that kit that I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
We play in a game with a blue dragonborn. He's obsessed with blue gems, and that's the only other time.
That's cute, though. I like that.
21 is a pretty good result, and it takes a little maneuvering, and you kind of take the idea here that you can soften your blade tips by coating them with a little bit of wax and cloth so that you don't scratch the gems on their way out, but you're able to pry 2 of them free. You'd say each one is worth 100 gold pieces.
Ooh. Oh, they were red, right?
They are. They appear to be rubies at first glance.
Approximately how heavy was that cat, by the way?
It's like almost as large as I am.
I would say at least
Yeah.
35 pounds.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
shit. That's a lot of gold.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
You should get gold-plated Crocs made. No, solid
Thank
gold
God.
Crocs.
Cat slippers made out of the gold.
That would be cute.
What was the very last thing we did last session?
You had agreed to become a special squad within the army.
That's right. We didn't really do anything after that.
Correct.
I think the only
Marshal,
thing we did after that was plan things to do later.
Yeah.
The Marshal basically told you were to report in tomorrow, so you have all of today.
What time of day is it?
At
I
this
thought it was
point,
like evening.
getting towards noon.
Noon. Oh, okay. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah, you sort of docked around, I would say, around 9 or 10 in the morning, and then probably took a couple hours to get into the city, past the gate, so probably about 1 or so.
But Austin, you said that so do you need a nap or a short rest, long rest?
Oh, this is like a
gonna sleep for
role-playing
days.
rest, not a mechanical rest.
Got it, okay.
Like, holy shit, that was stressful, but I'm glad it's over. Time to pass out for 3 hours. Afterwards, Ren will redress in, like, city clothes. So no armor, but he will start carrying Ispin's shield, since it was thrust upon me.
The person
Yeah.
who can use a shield, to be fair.
I wear it like a decoration, like across the back.
I was
Oh.
like a chain from your neck, like Flava Flav.
Oh, like a Flavor Flav. How big is the shield? Is it like a buckler? I could probably swing that.
No, it's a massive fucking shield. You could replace a wagon wheel with it.
Okay.
You can take a little bit of time to get some rest. Let me pull this up here. Cycling to the past.
While you're doing that, I'll just let you guys know. At the end of last session, I asked you if you would take me to the Wizard House.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
On that note, Tony, who has everybody of authority like walked away by
I'm
now,
here.
or
Do you need them to, or would you like to catch somebody before they go?
yeah, I'm gonna try to catch somebody before they go, and ask them. Do you happen to know where I might find someone named Wyan?
Osborne, on his way out, he can actually point this out to you.
Oh.
And he says that, as I throw you onto a map, that where you are at now is Castle Calaman here in the center, and that Wyan owns an apothecary here.
Okay.
Really not that far.
And then where would the Mage's Tower, or not tower? Well, you know, maybe it's not actually a tower, but
Calaman does not have one.
no. Okay.
Pointing out some things of interest here that Osborne can help you with on his way out. There are a pair of forges run by a brother and sister called the Hammerstrike Forges. The apothecary. The Steady Beacon, which is a tavern. Hetch's Warehouse, which is adjacent to some markets. And Yulara's Oddities. He says that this is pretty much the best place to go for any sort of gossip. There's also the Wanderer's Rest, which is really the Wanderer's Rest is a tavern, and the Steady Beacon is an inn. And then you have another central market here.
That's the thing I was going to ask about. Okay. That's all the fancy buildings. Is there anything
Yep.
else?
There's a couple of lighthouses. This is a deep water harbor. But that's most of what stands out as sort of the points of interest here.
Where are the refugees on the map? Where are they all kind of piling up over there?
They were further to the west than here. Can I ping? No.
Okay.
But
But
they're going to be moved closer to the city walls, so you'll have to see how that develops. I didn't actually mean to draw a boob, but I did.
fantastic artistry.
Do refugees enjoy it?
Do the refugees enjoy the boob?
Yeah.
Everybody
Lots
loves
of-
boobs. It really doesn't matter. But what are you interested in besides Wyans, anyone?
Well, I mean, I need to. I've got some business with him, but I don't know, that I
Is
think take priority
this-
at the moment. Me. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. Is the city itself in any form of panic or concern over the refugees showing up, and like why, or is everything pretty normal and nobody's really paying attention or cares?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
A lot of them are complaining the walls
There
isn't
is
big
no
enough.
war in Calaman.
Now time to find a secret tunnel. So, officially, not a big rise to concern.
Okay.
But when you spoke with the High Marshal, she's very concerned. And that's sort of why your special task force has been put together. It's because she is deeply ignorant of exactly what the threat is that they face. So, in no small part, what big portion of what she expects and hopes that you'll do is start answering some of the mystery around all of this.
Okay.
The guards
So, like, if we're out,
Go ahead.
I just wanted. So if we're out shopping and stuff, it's not like people are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? This is a state of emergency.
No, it seems like official word coming down from on high hasn't been distributed to the people yet. So the town markets, the people on their daily business, they seem about normal. The guards are a little bit worried because 400 refugees just showed up all of a sudden. But it seems like some word has come down with your help that is going to help organize that into something more manageable.
Okay. So, I mean, should we go let them know kind of what's happening, or should we, I don't know, take some time for ourselves and enjoy not actively, like, trying to stay alive for a moment?
I suppose someone's got to let them know. Perhaps we should go do that first. I can't imagine. What? How far away were they? Sorry, like hour-wise.
From where they beached originally, I think it was like an hour to 2 hours.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Yeah. No. Fuck them. That's way too far.
I mean, don't we kind of owe it to ourselves to do a little something for ourselves first before we go back and tell them what's going on? Because they're just going to have another, like, somehow we keep getting roped into all this stuff, and I get it because we're really good at apparently what we do and we're really important, but wouldn't it be nice to have just, I don't know, even an hour to not be in constant danger from a threat we didn't even know existed?
Well, I suppose their situation's not going to change much. Wait, what do we have? Am I retarded? Never mind. What do we have to tell them?
So,
like, did they say that they didn't say the refugees can come in or anything? So,
Raven specifically tasked you with acquiring aid for the refugees, and that is something with Darrett's help you were able to secure during your last meeting. As you presented the whole story and you kind of corrected Lord Baccharis there, it seems like Lord Baccharis was attempting to gain some station by speaking about how well he defended the city and how he put together this resistance and how the people of Bogler are desperate to get back into the fight. And he wants to lead them. But after you've corrected the events a bit, the big
Remember,
thing...
we had the fake truth ring.
That I remember.
That was funny. I love that the wizard dude was just like, this is such horseshit.
So yeah, I think we're just letting them know that we did, like, they'll get aid.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose there's no reason to rush ahead with that. Rush back with that news. I've got some business with Wyan. Ren, I can't. I'm fucking losing the accent apparently.
Don't worry, I don't know how to remember to speak Goblin anymore.
I fucking
Oh no, I like your goblin voice.
Ren, I can't promise you there's a bunch of mages here, but I was sent here myself. Speak with someone. Come with me if you like.
You're going now? Like right now?
Well, I mean, if we're taking some time for ourselves.
Okay, let me just, I'm like halfway through taking off my armor and just slide it back on, and you see the little clicks of the straps and the belts.
No, you've totally
I'm
been
ready.
doing this for like 6 or 7 minutes already.
Yeah.
And then you just start over in reverse. And what's worse is they all just wait on you. Nobody offers to help.
Yeah, I'm like filing my nails as you do it.
This is
Hey, man,
normal.
I don't know
I
how
didn't
to
get a
take off heavy
squire.
You were.
Do you
the
want to
squire.
learn? I can teach you. There's a strap here and another one here, and those connect to this part of the back plate. And I just go into like the. Okay, Ren, armor nerd. He knows a lot about metalworking, and he'll tell you like the techniques to like bevel part of the shoulder plate so it fits into this piece of armor made to accommodate this particular muscle on the shoulder, and it's very stupid. It's like an idiot savant kind of thing, right?
Oh, I kind of love that.
But you are able to communicate.
Yes.
Okay, you're not drooling on yourself.
Rin's dumb, not like socially inept.
He's loud and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
that
pay
he is.
attention, or at least appear to.
We all know nobody listens, but he talks anyways.
What'd you say?
Let's go to Lion?
Wyhan.
I don't know
Wyhan.
Lion.
Wyhan? I don't know. However you want to fuck
Why ham?
Oh man, I bet there's a pronunciation to tell you how to pronounce it too.
What, a pronunciation guide video?
It certainly is. Let me just take a quick look.
Is this a friend of yours who, or
I'm gonna
Where
call
are we
him
going?
Lion.
Well, I was sent here by, Fuck, what was her name? Why can I not remember things today?
Do you have COVID? Do you write things down?
I definitely don't write things down.
do you have COVID?
No.
As
No,
soon as
not to my
Tony
knowledge.
said he was gonna record these games, I took 0 notes.
All right.
Sorry, Tony.
YN. YN.
Wyan?
YN.
Lion.
Like Marianne, but
I'm gonna go with
Wyan?
YN, like Marianne. I think it's a little bit more.
Okay.
And
Now, Tony, what was the name of the woman that sent me up to fucking Ispin Green Shield in the first place?
man, you guys are just reaching here.
If her name isn't important, then you don't have to remind me.
Oh, what's this campaign we're in?
I mean, honestly, I'm fucking a step away from that.
Horde of the Shadow Dragon.
Honestly, though, I fell asleep at 5 o'clock. Like, I feel like I'm still...
I work all fucking day. You're over here sleeping at 5 o'clock?
Her
I'm not happy about that.
Her name
fair.
was Rovina.
Rovina. I thought it was an R. I say after you've given the answer, so it might be.
And-
Oh, right. I was just about to say that.
And he is not the only person in the party that has business with her.
Or from
Boy,
her.
I sure hope that's not me, because I also
I think
do
it
not
is.
remember.
Yeah, I just broke out into a cold sweat. Like, oh fuck.
That's not me.
Wait, is it actually
I'm sorry
Austin?
that you're
I'm so
fired.
sad now. Put me down.
Well, YN
Administer the lethal dose.
is a mage of high sorcery.
Black
Does she
Robe.
perhaps
so
give
let me-
tests
let me-
for robe
It-
things?
In fact, some of you might have scrolls that
Fuck.
Hell yeah!
that you owe. her.
Fuck.
Scrolls that you owe her?
Well, scrolls
I thought
that
this
you're
was a guy.
advised. So it is. It was never addressed what they were, except for
okay.
Osborne knows, because he's met them. That being said, both of you and Nova were given scrolls to deliver to Wyan, and you were given explicit instructions: do not
Right.
open the scroll.
Oh my god, that's why that name's familiar. You said it. And I went like, fuck.
If it makes you feel any better, this is 100% in character.
I
Yeah,
was
no, that-
fully fucking expecting you to have something for this too, because you're a wizard. You're
Tony,
a sorcerer. Oh, fuck.
I would like to make a wager with you.
hmm
Oh no.
I don't know if you're willing to do this, but I'm willing to wager an inspiration.
Okay.
I do not have one.
Uh-huh. So
That
you're
in one of
wagering
those
someone else's
scrolls-
inspiration.
Well, it's just the next time I would
Future.
get one, I won't, right? So, here's my thing.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'll wager you an inspiration that in one of those scrolls there is a picture of a cat.
This will be better if you wager someone else's. So I want you to pick someone in the group to wager
Kevin.
their inspiration. Damn, you wasted no time.
Wow. I mean, I do have inspiration, so that's fine.
Yeah, I remembered that. I keep track, I guess.
That's
Keep
what
track
you
of
keep
that,
track of?
but you forget about Wyan.
I
yeah.
didn't need to know about her. I forgot about him. I didn't remember anything else, so it's fine.
Amazing.
All right.
Yeah,
Wager kept.
so Oh, so are you gonna open the scrolls?
For people listening, important documents just being pictures of cats is a running gag from like 7 years beyond now.
Good times.
Amazing.
I'm not opening mine, by the way. Like that's not. That's not shit.
Crap! Now I really want to open it. No. So Nova's gonna go. Oh yeah, I totally had remembered and was just, letting you kind of lead the. But yeah, I have to go see her, him, they as well. I have some. I'm gonna look through my stuff to make sure I still have it. Yeah. I have important stuff with Win as well.
Do you take it out when you look?
Oh, yeah, I probably do.
Can I slide a hand?
Counting.
So, are you just trying to take it out of their hand, or are you going to be a little more surreptitious about this?
I'm not doing it maliciously. I'm just something important. I want to take a look. You know what I mean?
And I am happy to be at disadvantage because the image I have is a little flustered, but trying to hold it together. So I'm digging through my stuff and definitely not paying it, pulling one out at a time and looking to make sure there wasn't something else. So I'm not going to be paying attention.
Make a sleight of hand check. So Nova, as you're reaching and trying to find your scroll, just digging through your pack, you do pull out a small goblin who is holding the scroll presented for you.
Was this here before? No, I wouldn't notice that there was a goblin. Wait, weren't you? I look around to get confirmation.
This is important, right? I'm kind of curious.
Can
I open it?
So yes, it's very important. That's why they had me bring it, and they need me to deliver it to Wisp. Very important. And I don't know if it's for non-mage's eyes.
I don't think it's for mage's eyes, or at least not ours.
I kind of give it back to you and hop off of whatever I'm on.
Yeah, where's the cat? If you're in her bag, is it just...
Oh, I totally left it.
150 pounds heavier or something now? What the fuck? I guess I'm assuming your goblin's over 100 pounds.
How are these scrolls closed or clasped?
Let's take a look.
Are they perhaps encased in some kind of vessel?
Now, I think
Phylactery.
you were given a spell book as well, were you not?
I was.
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, that is my spell.
I got a rock and a dead friend. You guys are getting spell books?
Nova can just use her head, but I need a book.
You have a horse.
I had to buy the horse with gold. That's what 90% of my starting costs were.
Oh, it does look ornate.
That looks fancy, yeah. I like that it has all the colors tied in. That's cool.
So it is on a traditional scroll wheel for display and easy unrolling, but it is wrapped with multicolored twine.
Ooh. Can I don't have detect magic. Can I perceive, maybe a perception to see if there's any magic spells on it that would, let someone know I was opened?
Make an Arcana check. You can also make a perception check with a higher DC.
Do perception.
Okay. There are some runes on this, and it's hard to say if they're for purpose or just aesthetic. So.
Yeah, so there's so you see these symbols here, these are very ancient and very powerful, and they will blow you up if we try to open this. So we're just gonna put it back in the bag and deliver to Winnie, and it'll be out of her hands.
Kind of
Winnie.
shrugged. Woody the Pooh.
Just the wrong name. Nova's
Every
he's a
time.
character.
I think
Hey,
we're all
Winnie.
characters.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna look at the goblin. And are you coming with us then?
They have a potion store, right? I could buy a potion.
Ah, he's an alchemist. Are you bringing that? Just point at the cat.
Nope. I kind of pat where my sack is with the gems, like in whatever I'm wearing, and kind of just start strolling off in the direction.
Just leaving the
Maybe-
cat.
Maybe you should take it though. He could turn it into lead, right? That'd be cool. Oh, here, I'll carry it for you. I just like scoop it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
You do so. It's heavier than you expect.
I cradle it like a baby, like in the nook of my elbow.
And is that how you want to exit the courtyard?
Yep.
Sorry, now that he's picked it up, I would like to assess it real quick and just see if it looks like any famous artwork, designer, anything I would recognize, or is magical.
It looks like a cat without eyes.
For Tony, try to see if it's worth anything.
So make an... I'll say make another perception check.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I went from Blake's super giant computer with multiple screens to a laptop, so I'm like back and forth between pages.
And we have computer. We have computer at home. Laptop.
So
Ooh.
you're taking a look and trying to identify it, and it takes you a moment, and you find there is a maker's mark. And from what you know in your time in high society, is this is sort of it's not a knockoff per se, but this artist is known for doctoring up their artwork to make it look nicer and better and more expensive than it is. So you kind of get the feeling this is probably not a solid gold cat. It's probably gold-plated. You'd estimate it's probably worth 25 gold.
I'm gonna look back at the little goblin. I don't even know. Have we met? Do we know your name yet? Or you just like shown up and?
Well, I did do that second thing. But I'm Gex. I stand proudly.
All right, Rex. So, this is a pretty nice piece, but if you're reselling it, you might only get like maybe 30 or 40. So if you want me to sell it for you, I could do that, but I would probably need like a 15 gold, like for compensation.
I mean, as long as you're carrying it, lady.
Yeah, and I hand it back to Ren.
Yeah.
My arms are sore.
Oh, do you want me to carry you too? I've got
Oh.
another elbow.
Yeah,
No, that's
my
fine.
feet hurt. These are not my traveling. Oh, you meant the goblin.
I'm just gonna leave this alone. Just walk away.
Wait, isn't the horse with us still?
No, Water Lily's resting now. She's deserved it. She's been in multiple life-threatening fights. She's almost died a couple times. She deserves a little R&R. By R&R, I mean to lay the fuck down for a while.
Reminds me, I need to level her up to a warhorse.
Wow. That'll be great, because I took Commander Strike and I want her to hoof people.
But was that an Owen Wilson wow? Or just happenstance?
No, Owen Wilson WoW was like, wow.
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 I always
Jackie
knew we were going to be
Chan.
great friends. Wow.
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 I'm sorry I had sex with your brother. Wow.
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 I'm Owen Wilson. What the fuck does he sound like?
I'm pretty much like that. Okay, are we off or?
You can
Yeah,
be
Wait,
off.
where
he's
is
updating
your
stuff.
horse? Like, did
stable.
you even bring your horse into the town?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Just not into the building.
I almost just called you Ostrava.
I mean, it wouldn't.
Damn it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be only once. Anyway, what?
I don't know. I forgot.
You can exit the castle and head towards the apothecary. Like Nova noticed on her way in, the people are largely going about their day, unaware of the threat that consumed Vogler. As you make your way further towards the apothecary, you start to smell a number of aromas, and they're actually quite pleasing. And for just a brief moment, it almost smells like you're heading towards like a shop that deals pastries or candies. But once you find the building proper and enter it, the apothecary smells of licorice and pepper. It's a modest shop.
Gross.
It has a few meager tables displaying good luck charms, odd animal bones, and vials advertising various remedies. At the rear of the shop, a human woman with raven hair and a dark dress with feathered, wing-like sleeves stands behind a counter heaped with open books. She looks up from reading, eyes you with disinterest, and just goes back to her book.
Oh, hey, it's Nova's friend.
I'd say how dare, but yeah.
Nailed it!
Sounds like Yennefer, actually. Are you, Wyan? Wait, Wyan. What was it, Tony? I fucking forgot already.
Let's go with Wyan. Or Wyan.
Are you Wyan? Wyan. There you go. I'll get it right once.
Oof.
She looks up from her book again, takes you another sort of precursory look at you, and casts her eyes back down to her reading, and she says, "I am."
Well, Rovenia has asked me to deliver this, and then I'll pull out the scroll to you. And I believe she's got one as well.
Yeah, I have, and I start digging through my bags again. Yes, I have this. And then, Tony, is there, having looked at it before, a way for me to hand it to her and accidentally open it as I'm handing it to her?
Make a deception check.
Oops, I tripped and opened the scroll with my face.
I just drop it.
Arthanos, as you attempt to hand over the letter, she does immediately stop, shows a little bit more interest than before, places a book holder and bookmark into her book, and will take the scroll from you. As she starts to slide a fingernail to open it, at the same time, you make this bumbling attempt to deceptively open the scroll, and it ends up getting knotted around one of your fingers, and it's not a great effort. Do you still want to continue through and try to force it open, or just kind of let it dangle there for a moment until she takes it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let it dangle for a second and be like, oh, caught on my nail. You know, these nails, they're pretty expensive, but man, they can be lethal. And then like untangle and gently put it down, and then step away to hopefully be a little out of sight and hopefully out of mind.
She rolls your scroll back up, Arthanos, and then she will take the one that you have offered, Nova, and she gives you this very condescending look. I mean, it's definitely one you've practiced in the mirror before.
I die inside.
But she finally takes it and will unwrap it, slides another fingernail under it to reveal it, and she rolls it back up after a few moments. She
Can you
looks...
show us?
She doesn't. And she looks towards the two of your companions. And she asks, "And who are these?"
Well, they've been working with us for a while now. They're just accompanying us. You don't need to pay them any mind.
I'm a knight. And I've got this cat. And I put it on the counter. It's his though.
Well, who was, I guess, got any potions?
She takes a deep sigh, looks very put upon, and she says, seeing as how you are traveling with a couple of aspiring mages, I suppose I can reveal to you our better stock. Are you looking for something specific?
Well, it's been a lot of fire recently, so maybe something that could help with that.
I saw a friend do something recently that was very interesting. He put his hands on me, and then my flesh wove back together. Can you do that?
I look very interested in her answer.
Some of our healing potions are the only things that mend flesh. In the centuries since the cataclysm, we do have some. Although I am sure you're mistaken about your friend being able to do it with their hands.
Nope.
Are you sure
But that's
it
okay.
wasn't with a salve of some kind?
Nope.
Can
It
I
is magic.
roll? I'd like to see
I
if I
think-
think she's lying or hiding it.
Make an insight.
I wouldn't know though. I don't do that. So you're probably right.
She offers healing potions for 50 gold, and potions of greater healing for 150. Supreme healing and superior healing are 450 and 1350 respectively.
Damn.
I'll take a healing potion.
And could I tell if she was lying about that, or if she did know about it happening with just magic?
With a 20 insight, she seems honest. She seems actually a little bit miffed, because not only does she not believe that there's anyone out there with magical healing via their hands, but she's kind of already figured out the trick. She thinks that obviously this was using a healing potion or a salve of some kind, which is her specialty, and that it's just you folks that aren't smart enough to pick up on that.
You see, I think it's weird because these are magic, right? And I held up the potion. So why can't you just do what you do to make these just on somebody?
You're referring to a salve, which we do offer.
Okay, can I have one of those too?
Austin, do you remember the magic item in Curse of Strahd that, like, somebody...
Murdered Yami? Yes.
No, this would be the one that, in Brian's campaign, and John's character went, feeble-minded.
Oh,
And then he
the
started
ointment?
eating the ointment.
Yeah.
And, like, he felt a lot better, but it was, like, a real big waste.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, do you want to know what that is? Because I can find that real quick.
Ointment was the word I was looking for. She does offer Kioctum's ointment. It's 120 gold per dose.
I can't afford that, but if I need some, I'll definitely come back here.
Is this supposed to help when these guys get fire on them?
If you're looking to remain resilient against the fire, I can sell a potion of resistance. It's 300 gold. If you're looking to recover from the fire, one of our healing potions, salves, will help.
I'm going to go over to Nano Strava, Arthanos, and kind of whisper in your ear by making you come down to my level.
Just tug.
Be like, you got any, you got 200 gold?
Not even close. A bit pricey.
Yeah. Maybe another time, I say.
Are these prices reasonable, or is she jacking them up on us?
These are actually very sane magic item prices, as I
Wow.
have pulled their prices from the sane magic items list.
Love that list.
It's a good list.
Well, I feel like I'm making you a little annoyed, so I'm gonna leave. Please take good care of my friends.
I can
And
only
thanks for the potion.
I can only say that your ability to read people is unhindered.
That's the best thing anyone's ever said to me. I leave.
She looks very pointedly at you, Gex,
Mhm.
and she just waits.
I guess I'll kind of slowly sneak out of the place and try to run back.
As you start to make your way towards the door, she just nods like, "Yes, you figured it out."
Nova is taking notes in her brain.
Once the two of you have departed, she will look back towards the two of you, and she says, "Well, I certainly can't fault you for having some companions, especially with the roads as dangerous as they are. You would be better served to remember that we are not open in all of our ways to everyone."
Alright, sorry about them.
Honestly, they're very sweet. Well, one of them is very sweet, but I don't think they're paying much attention to anything really. Um,
Jesus Christ.
It might be good
Hey,
to
I think
keep
we
them
left
alo-
that cat in there.
Yeah, you did.
She picks up the cat and she says, "Yes, obviously." It might benefit you to have them for some time, depending on what trials await you next. Tell me, how has your journey been since you were granted as a novice magus?
Well, mine was rather uneventful until I ended up just up the river there at Vogler, and then I wouldn't recommend going back there. You ever seen? I'm gonna describe one of the Draconians. Well, I mean, I guess that's just. Have you ever seen a dragon person with wings and? Well, I mean, I suppose that's really it. Some of them explode. I'm guessing not, because I know that they're not. They haven't been seen recently, right? Draconians.
Draconians, to your knowledge, have never been seen.
Never. Oh, never been seen.
Mhm.
Are
Okay.
they? I can't remember. Were they in folklore at all? Like we have, like we would all recognize.
Make a religion or a history check. And I think you rolled really well on these before, Arthanos, so I'll give you advantage.
Yeah. Okay. Thank God.
Sorry, give me a second. I apparently have two tabs of Roll20 open, and it's beeping. There we go. All right, so actually you both did quite well. So after the cataclysm, it was largely believed that the gods abandoned the world of Krynn. About the same time, dragons in reputable circles stopped being a topic of conversation, and any sort of reports of them were questionable at best. But these Draconians, to your knowledge, have never been seen before.
Okay.
The
so I
man you
probably would-
interrogated, he said that the Dragon Queen birthed these creatures in her own image into
Right.
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't say have you seen, but anyway, because there's a lot of them. Actually, we run into a lot of them. They're very unpleasant.
And they're very formidable.
I'm not aware of these creatures, but tell me. You stand upon a precipice between where you currently reside in a basic form of magical potential and what you can become as a proper mage of high sorcery. Has your magic helped you to deal with this threat that you describe?
I'd say so.
I mean, it's probably the only reason we and our other companion are alive.
She looks at the sword that you carry, Arthanos. Has it helped more than the blade?
Uh-oh. No, lie. No, I'd say so. I mean, the sword's invaluable as well, of course, but...
And she looks at you, Nova. Has it helped more than the people you carry with you?
My magic is what's kept me and my companions alive. It's invaluable. Absolutely.
So it's kept you and yourselves alive, helped you to face these threats. But do you think you're truly worthy of wielding it? To living up to its potential as much as your own?
Well, Venia seemed to think so, and I'll hold up my, the book she gave me.
Yes, I'm sure that Baby's first spell book was a glowing recommendation.
Oh!
What a bitch.
She looks at you, Nova.
I mean, I'm Moonborn. I'm meant to be this. This is my calling. This is who I am. Without my magic, I am my magic.
Moonborn. So is it your purpose to serve magic? Or is magic's purpose to serve you?
Can I do a perception check to see which answer she's looking for?
Make it an insight.
Kinda, right? Like when you're doing an interview and they're like, "What's your weakness?"
Oh my god, like seriously, when I ask that question in interviews, if anybody's like, "Well, I'm too dedicated to my work." I'm like, "All right, fuck off."
Right.
I think every time I've been asked that, I've just completely forgotten to answer it. Because usually I ask, like, oh, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And I go over strengths, I completely fucking forget to answer weakness. It's not intentional either.
When I ask that question, I want to know, what are your weaknesses? And you don't have to describe that like you're an alcoholic that barely functions in society, right? But if you try to sell me a fucking line like, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, it's like, you're a bit of a fucking skeevy liar.
I have a one sentence answer to that question, which always has a positive response.
What do you got?
I'm often too blunt in emails.
It's a good one.
That
Yeah.
is a good one. Yeah, you're supposed to say
It's a
something.
real problem, though.
Yeah, you're supposed to say something that's a weakness and then follow it up with how you work on correcting it, or it's not a big enough deal for them to be worried.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways,
So,
with an 11 insight, you don't think she's fishing for a specific answer. It feels like she's more looking to how you deal with the question.
all right, I'm going to be truthful with her. Tilt my head and kind of think about it for a moment because I don't know if I've ever considered this in my life. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Maybe it's something to think about if you claim to be Moonborn, knowing what your purpose is to serve or be served.
And maybe
Go ahead.
And maybe a wise person would wait and see where their life and their magic is taking them before making decisions.
She looks towards you, Arthanos. Servant, Oh, master.
At this point, the cat, so obviously the owl was just perched on my shoulder before. Cat, I feel like, is a little awkward to do that. So it's been walking along with us. It's gonna sort of climb up and try to perch itself on my shoulder. What was her fucking question? I swear I'm
Do you
completely
serve
retarded
magic,
today.
or does it serve you?
Right. But use it to serve my purposes. I'll pet my cat.
Sorry, I'm just taking a moment to find an image of a kitten climbing somebody's leg. Because I imagine that despite the wings, that's still how the Tressum gets up.
The wings just help it balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like flapping in my face and shit.
And once the two of you have made your decision, what are your plans for the world with your magic? How do you plan to change the world? Because that is the level of power that we're describing here. The potential that boils within you. It's not just the people you pass on the street. It's not just the people you bumped elbows with on your way to my shop. It's this land itself. She looks at you, Arthanos.
Well, to begin with, I like to deal with, and I'm going to use minor illusion here to just make some pictures. I like to deal with all this and then show her a picture, the Draconian, the fucking dragon that we saw, the why can I not think of the word? The symbol on the Draconian's armor.
The healing
like
magic? Fuck that bitch.
the talons and shit.
So you're weaving up these images with minor illusion.
Yeah.
And you're sort of going through them, and she just reaches out and she grabs both your hands and pushes them together. So she's clasping your hands in hers. And she says, but what does that actually mean? You want to change the world. You want to deal with this. How do you plan to do so? And images of her own making conjure up around you. You see yourself at a table with silhouettes of figures, and you're negotiating treaties. And the image flashes, and you see yourself flying over a battlefield, waving your hand as arcs of lightning sweep out amongst winged figures. And you see another where you sort of sleuth out of the shadows as an invisible figure forming into sight and leading an army of undead draconians.
Yeah, not so much that last one.
But kind of a cool image.
I mean, it's definitely neat. Now I'm kind of uncomfortable because she's just grabbed me. Mostly dealing with the threat, protecting people with force, I suppose. Trying to pull away from her a little bit.
When you pull away, she lets you, and she
Okay.
turns her gaze towards Nova. How will you change the world? It's very quiet. I don't know if everybody heard me.
That's how I change the world.
Unless she's on mute.
I'm on mute. Cool. Let me try that again. I agree with Arthanos. This is a new threat to our world, to our society, and if we don't deal with this, I don't know what will be left of our society. I think I agree that this. I want to be a part of dealing with this first. And in my head, I'm like adding to myself, like, oh my gosh, the history books are going to be like talking about me. I better make sure that I have really great outfits for when they're making the illustrations. And then like, but still talking to her. And this is a turning point in our history that we need to address and deal with. And I want to be at the forefront of that. And then I'm going to steal his idea of using minor illusion, except this time showing some more of my magic missiles and the different mind tricks and different stuff that I have dealing with the like kind of some of the stuff that we used in the previous sessions.
I think I have an understanding of what you might do, Arthanos, if you were to lose your magic. She kind of lets her eyes rest on your sword again. But Nova, how would you behave without it? What if being Moonborn wasn't enough and magic abandoned you?
Then I would find it. Then I would search and I would, like, there's... And in a very raw moment of honesty, I am my magic. And if I was to lose it, I would search and burn down what I had to find it.
So your life only has purpose with it?
My life, my magic adds to my life and to my purpose.
Tony, is that a thing, by the way? Like people losing their magic?
Yeah. Do I need to add that to my anxiety list?
It's not like other fantasy mediums where like it's common. But you know that the test of high sorcery is extremely dangerous. And when you kind of frame her questions with that in mind, she's asking you, how would your life go on without magic? Are you worthy of using it? Do you serve it? It's like she's trying to attach the significance of the trial ahead because the chances of dying in it are very high.
Significant. Right. Which Nova knows on a surface level. This is the first time it's really actually like she's become aware of it on a real level. And I think that's why she's honestly answering kind of a little more with a little more truth and than she normally would.
It certainly helps to keep that in mind. But and to answer your question, Arthanos, dying is usually the more likely outcome.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, people have come back from the trials, crippled, maimed, or without the magic that brought them there in the first place.
Okay. Bitch is wrong, by the way. I'd go back to farming. Anyway, sorry.
She
Plant some corn for dying.
takes a moment and begins tapping the scrolls on the table. And she says, "You still have some time before you have to finalize your decisions. I would recommend," and she kind of thinks over this for a moment, "if you could both whisper me what your alignment is." And again, I know, I hate using alignment in games, but send it over to me and whisper if you want to keep it private. You can also tell me if you don't care.
I think I'm just going to say it because Nova's not super deep. I'm like chaotic good.
Okay.
And Arthanos?
I don't know. Are we using the jank-ass 5e alignment thing? Or... Yeah. Okay.
I'm
guess
really looking
chaotic?
for good, neutral, and evil.
Yeah, more on the side of good, but like, I don't know, neutral good?
Yeah,
Neutral
same.
0.5?
Versus I'm more like good neutral.
She takes a moment and she looks to you, Nova, and she says, "I would recommend that you pursue a red robe." And she looks towards you, Arthanos. "And for you, I would recommend a white robe."
I
She makes these recommendations. And she says, I will contact the fellow mages of High Sorcery and petition for your inclusion into our organization. Once I've heard back from our leaders at the Tower of High Sorcery in Wayreth, they will provide us with a time and place for your trial.
Ooh, got real.
At that time, I will help to arrange transportation for you, so you can undertake the test of High Sorcery.
Well, that's kind of you. I'll admit my initial impression of you was well, I didn't expect you to be kind like that. I appreciate it.
She raises an eyebrow and she says, and what did you expect me to be?
I'm making like symbols like shut up, stop talking.
A bit more. I'm not sure really. I'm not that.
He's
been around that many
tired. We just came from a battle and evacuation, and we've lost friends, and we're exhausted. And maybe this is a good time for us to step out
I was
before we
petrified twice.
before we
Still
form a
stoned.
bad impression, like being petrified.
I do not have to have a great appreciation for you to have a great appreciation for life as a whole. You're putting your life on the line. I think you should know what you're getting into and what you stand to gain from it. She reaches over and she picks up her book and opens it back to where she's placed her bookmark. Will you be purchasing anything?
No, I'll get out of your way. Shuffle off towards the door awkwardly.
Is she the only place that we can get healing potions, or can we get it elsewhere?
You might be able to find them elsewhere, but this is probably the best place.
Don't want to give this bitch money. Not when she's a better bitch than me. Actually, yes. You don't happen to have any moon energy potions, do you? And I deliberately am using like a Herbalife type reference.
She draws a deep breath. And she'll reach under the table and she produces some potions of recovery. These don't look quite like your holistic approaches. But you would recognize that this is the same potion that Osborne had given you when he met you to help you recover your spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Okay.
says, for you two, 100 gold each. And they restore 1d4 plus 1 levels of spell slots.
Pretty good.
You'll roll it when you go to use it.
So you do understand that you're making Nova choose between having money for shopping and having money and buying health potions right after people just died, and she's actually torn.
See, she's becoming a better person every day.
Okay. I don't get to wear pretty things if I don't have skin, so I will purchase.
We need fucking money.
Yeah.
It's true, you guys do need money.
Maybe we should have been looting people.
There's
You know who actually had a lot of money?
Oh no.
Was Dine.
Gosh. Oh,
Was
God.
dying.
Yeah, actually, you should have a decent chunk of change too, Ren.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I spent it.
Yeah, he got water lily.
Oh,
Yeah, well, we got a lot of gold from the prelude,
Yeah.
but I
Oh.
just spent 50 of it on a health potion, too, so. I have 20 left.
Well, hopefully that goblin's, gonna share some gold with you after he gets done pooping.
You guys have the cat still. We just left it on the counter.
She'll
there.
she'll allow the cat to be traded in for 25 gold.
Oh, yeah, I will do a trade then.
And you're paying 75 gold for the rest.
Mm-hmm.
All right, she'll give you one. Do you have enough to purchase the pair?
Anything else? You buying?
No, I'm good. I'm shuffling out of the store awkwardly because I'm pretty sure he doesn't like me.
Oh,
Okay, you can pick up one of them,
did just basically call her a bitch. Sorry. Go ahead.
and you may add that to your inventory as a potion of recovery.
can I say special healing potion from Win?
Yes,
Because that's what it's already in there as.
nice. And you can make your way outside to where Rin and Gex are waiting.
Okay.
Anything exciting or anyone turned to stone while we were in there?
No. Just kind of sat on this bench.
Did you fall asleep?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure I'd be able to tell.
Well, to meet some other mages, you'll have to wait a bit. I'm afraid we're essentially just waiting to hear back from her.
Okay, but we're gonna go to the tower eventually, right?
Yeah, eventually. Can't tell you exactly how long, but
There might be some more pressing issues to deal with at the moment. And I'll do the minor illusion of the dragon folk again.
No, I
man,
remember.
magic is so convenient.
It's just
I know.
that I promised I would meet her again before I died, so I wanted to,
Oh,
keep
sweetheart.
that promise.
Wait, meet who?
Remember his childhood friend?
Her
What
name's
was her name?
Lucina.
Oh,
That's not important.
He saw her
It's
ankles
important to
once
me.
when he was 13, and he's never given up on her.
She used to beat me up when I was a kid.
okay. Well,
The more I hear this story, the sadder I get.
Poor
When Ren
Rin.
finally gets with her, she's just going to fucking not give a shit, or she'll be married already.
Rin just doesn't understand what a
Well-
healthy relationship is.
Yeah.
Well, she ignored sorry, I gotta look up his name. She just ignored Elsker. Didn't even talk to him, so I feel like I got the good end of the deal.
You're from a very small town, aren't you?
There were 5 kids.
Yep.
I was her
That-
favorite.
Number.
Explains a lot. So, before
One
we...
of them was my sister.
You sweet summer child. Okay, well, we've done our thing. Is there any shopping anybody wants to do?
That depends if you got 200 gold.
20.
Okay.
How much did they say they were going to pay us, by the way? Was it 4 gold a week?
5 gold a week.
5 gold a
Ooh.
week?
Actually,
Wow.
quite a bit of change
Yeah.
Yeah. For normal people.
for normal people, yeah.
Normies.
Yeah, fucking or whatever. Yeah,
If you
fuck.
guys want to go to the market, I was gonna buy Water Lily some vegetables.
So
Hey,
sweet.
okay, I'll come along.
Yeah. I am all about the window shopping, so yeah.
I've got
You
nothing
can-
better to do except for wait. So
For wait.
I got it.
Tony,
Mhm.
is there any Knights of Solamnia hazing ritual that I know about?
I'm sure there were.
Okay, I also want to look to get supplies to do that to Dieter.
To Derek?
Peter.
Derek. I don't know.
He's become
To
a chubby
Derek.
German child.
I'm so sorry, Derek. Yeah. As
Guys,
far
we
as
are not
Ren
doing
is
well on
concerned,
names.
Becklin, I remember Becklin's name because it sounds like Declan. As far as I'm concerned, Becklin appointed him as a knight, so I'm going to treat him like one.
Okay.
We
What
can
a
figure
good-
this out later, but
Yeah,
I get
keep-
supplies to do the thing.
It's got to be him in a suit of armor just getting fucking wrecked, right? Like,
Yeah, we lead him around the corner where there's a donkey that kicks him in the chest.
I imagine like the worst game of Dizzy Bat ever.
Oh man, you just keep ringing his helmet. Ugh.
Oh god.
What about putting like sugar or honey like inside the armor next time he takes it off?
The issue is he's not wearing it yet.
Oh, right.
We'll think on it. But yeah, you can pick up
Yeah.
some ingredients and some provisions for you and for Water Lily. She does prefer only the finest quality of oats and other things that horses eat. She's a big fan of apples.
I get some of those. I get the red ones.
I'm trying to remember. I think
Oh,
there
the
was
shittiest apples.
Yeah, but they match my skin tone.
where are you guys heading
Oh.
after your little shopping spree? Well, after you watch Ren spend his money. Or is
Good
there
question.
something
Gotta be an
specific
inn,
that you're
right?
looking for?
Sleep?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
what
we
were
could
you
all
gonna say?
use a rest.
Brent's never gonna sleep.
Yami, what were you gonna
He's
say?
really not.
I was gonna say an inn, so sleep.
Oh yeah, okay.
So some quarters have been prepared for you at Castle Kalaman.
Any nickels?
But you can also return to Vogler and see how the refugees are doing and assist them. It's up to you.
All the way to Wagner. I mean, I'll volunteer to go back and inform them of what's happened, but I don't really intend to stick around there for an extended period of time.
Okay. Well, why don't we go set up camp? Either find an inn, and while you go do that. That sound okay?
Sure. Though you've got quarters at the castle. Didn't
Was
like
the
that's what you
castle
just said,
nice?
right, Tony?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been
Okay.
provided some lodging there at the castle.
Was the castle nice then? Sam just asked.
Oh, so yes and no. It's an old structure, so it's nicer than pretty much anything else that is post-Cataclysm by default.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it's got some areas of disrepair, and some of it looks nicer and newer. Like, obviously, the council chambers where you met the governor and the council was very clean, pristine, well kept. But there's also levels to it that are for barracks housing the soldiers, the guards, some of the servant staff, and those aren't quite as nice, like, because they're run like a military organization. What you'll find out is that you have actually been given an old small banquet hall, or old small ballroom, and pretty much the
Ooh.
entire thing is yours.
Inn. Let's go to that. Let's do that. Inn for the castle, not go to an inn. Sorry.
Put the inn in the castle ballroom.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, scratch the inn idea. Let's do the castle for sure.
All right, who's going with Arthanos?
Uh-oh. I feel like this is ominous.
And that was the last we saw of him.
Arthanos, you head back towards where Vogler's folk beached, and as you get outside the gate, you start to encounter some of the folk of Vogler. And you see them being ushered in by the guards into one of the sections of these, I don't even know what you would call them, but these shanty towns. But this close to the city's capital, to the capital, they're actually functioning, semi-furnished wooden buildings. So they're not run down. They're just kind of simple. And you see a section has been arranged for Vogler, and the people there are already creating a mess hall and a medical station, and assigning people to homes based on their families and where they're moving into. And wagons are coming out of the city capital with food, medical supplies, blankets, furnishings, things like that. It seems like the efforts here to welcome in and cater to the refugees have already been taken into account. You can also find that there are recruiters for the army here. And they are speaking to the people of Vogler, which you very quickly get that, well, many of them are trying to do the best and make their homes here. Many of them are interested in fighting to take what's theirs back. So you see a number of them sort of lined up and discussing options for joining and enlisting and reaching back into the world and taking a piece of their home back.
Okay.
Mayor
So I really
Raven.
didn't need to come out here at all. Okay.
Well, Mayor Raven will see you, and she says, Darrett actually came ahead of you and let us know the good news. I'm really proud of all of you. I can't thank you enough.
To be honest, it went a bit better than I thought it would.
She nods and she says, I haven't seen the Picaris family back. I imagine that they're somewhere in the city still.
Somehow he made it to the castle before us. I'm not quite sure how large he was, how that happened, but he was his regular pleasant self. Kind of rolled my eyes.
She smiles and she says, I don't know if I'll be here when next you come back. I'm also going to join up with the army. But she says, I didn't have much that I brought from my estate in Vogler. But this might be of value to you. And she hands you a necklace. And it's just a simple leather thong wrapped around a sort of ramshackle pendant. It looks like a quartz stone cut. And it's engraved with a rune. And she says, I was told that this was magic once. And she hands it over to you. I don't know if it's true, but it seems to have brought me good luck. Maybe that's what brought you to us in our time of need.
That's very kind of you. I just came to deliver the news. I didn't expect a reward. I'm upset that I haven't taken Identify. I thought I did.
You didn't bring her a present.
I hate gift giving, honestly. I fucking hate it.
I didn't know we were doing presents. Oh god.
I hate it so much.
She says, maybe one of you can find good use of it, and if not, maybe it's something that you can use to remember how many people are indebted to you. The good you've done for us.
I'm glad so many of them got out. Because, was it everybody that got out, or did a lot of people died, right?
Probably a dozen or so.
Oh, so not that many.
Right,
Okay.
like a few of the guards that were helping to finish the evacuation towards the end got caught in the fighting. You watched one guy get murked and just taken off his horse and just wrecked. Guards in the center died because, goddamn, those Draconians were super good at killing guards, but not so great at killing everyone else.
Yeah, okay.
Until they were really good at killing everyone else, it was weird.
Yeah, especially us.
Yeah, that felt kind of like a slight against us. Like, they weren't really good at killing people.
Until they were,
Right. Until they demolished half of our party.
Decided to try
When we showed
halfway
up.
through combat.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But she seems genuinely enthused, and she offers you this with as much sincerity. And you can tell it's very special to her, but she's really happy for you to have it. And she hopes that you'll wish the others as very well as when you see them.
Yeah, of course I'll pass along your wishes. Does she look like particularly physically fit? I thought she was like middle aged or something.
She's actually kind of on the younger side. She's probably
Oh.
like older 20s, younger 30s. She's
Okay.
in good shape, but she doesn't look like she was a warrior trained.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking, like, yeah, I thought she was like middle aged and a little, I don't know, like a middle aged person typically is like not super fit.
I think I have a picture.
Felt like joining the army was a weird thing, but all right, if she's young and all that, then it doesn't seem that off. I'll pass along your wishes, and then I'll sort of turn to leave and go back towards the castle.
Sorry, 1 second. Ha!
Oh, okay. So she's a child.
I would say older 20s.
Fucking humans.
Fucking humies.
Disgusting. Got a quarter of my age.
You can head back to the castle and give me a moment here.
X has got to be like 6, right? Don't
Can't tell.
goblins
They're like
mature
fully
at like
grown at 6
2?
months.
I think
Yeah.
10, right? Like,
Is it 10? That's crazy.
someone needs to look that up, but like, I think it is young.
They reach adulthood at 8.
8. There you go.
Could live up to 60 years. That's weird.
What?
Yeah,
So
it's just
Google
that they're too weak to live past their 20s usually. An old goblin is like 19. Like, that's
God, no
real
wonder-
canon shit.
No wonder they're so crotchety, right? Like, imagine like from 20 on, they have like bad backs and everything hurts, and
Just
the
like
youth
real
don't
life.
Right.
That's why the older a goblin is, the smarter they are, because they're intelligent enough to not die.
Oh yeah, they get crafty.
Yeah.
For Nova and Ren and Gex, you reach your lodgings in the castle. This room was once a small ballroom. A row of pillars, sculpted with knotwork and images of knights, supports a vaulted ceiling. Light shines into a room through tall windows facing the mountains of the south. One corner of the hall holds a collection of plain cots and empty chests, and nearby stands a large wooden table. There are 3 small private rooms connected to this hall, which are also yours, and you can use them as you like. The main room here seems to serve as both your main sleeping quarters as well as large enough for rooms for activities or hosting or the war room, whatever. Anyone who cares can make a religion check.
More like the
I will
boar
make
room.
one.
Lamau.
I will also suggest Nova gets her own room for womanly privacy. Ren's sexist. Yeah, what about it?
I mean, and Nova's elitist, so she'll happily take her own room.
Just takes the entire hallway of 3 rooms.
Yeah, I'm in the ballroom. Where are you guys going?
Ren
-1.
Ren and Gex, actually, you both succeed. You see that there are the statues in the chambers depict the warrior god Kiri Jolith, patron of the Solamnic Knights of the Sword.
Neat.
Indeed. That's where we're going to take our first break of the night, because you got to feed the doggos, right?
Fucking meat.
See.
Cool.
Real
Go ahead
Okay.
and take care of them, and we'll come back here and finish up.
Cuckoo.
Cheerio.
But I never left.
Fucking Wyan, kind of a bitch. Yeah, Yami, after your experience on the train, are you gonna fly next time?
No.
No.
I don't have to go there ever again, so
No, okay. I mean, the next time you have to take like a trip that's that far.
I don't know. It depends. Because I really can just like zone out. Like I zoned out so hard for like 4 hours straight.
Yeah,
Yummy,
I
I
mean,
think they call that disassociation.
Yeah, I could do that.
Are you okay?
Sam, I've been asking him this for years.
I mean, because since our first time we talked and you brought up the hamsters in the freezer, I have been worried on the lowdown.
Profoundly concerned for your well-being.
This one time,
Oh boy.
why did I go on? I went on the roof, maybe about like 10 feet up on a ledge on my roof for something.
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe like as a joke or like a drop or like something, you know what I mean. And then I realized that I can't get down, so I was just stuck there for a while.
How old were you? Don't tell me this was
Early
last week.
20s.
Oh Christ! How long were you up there?
I don't know, like at least an hour or two.
How did you get down eventually?
I'm pretty sure someone got me a ladder. Because I think I went up the ladder, fell, and I was like, well, shit. I could have easily just jumped down, but you know.
Yeah, like how tall is your house? Is it like a 2-story house or something?
Well, this was like up
High
10
up?
feet or so.
Okay, yeah.
It's not like the full thing.
You could
like
have tried to
halfway.
like hang off the roof and then land the 4 feet difference. But
But you don't like heights, so that makes sense.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, another example of Kevin not being considerate of Kevin.
Yeah. I don't know, after a certain number of years, you just stop worrying about it.
How long have you guys known each other?
It's fucking, I don't know, a decade?
Let's see. We started. Well, I don't know when did you start playing League of Legends?
When Honky made me do it.
So like end of 2010, maybe.
Oh God, was it that long ago?
Oh yeah.
And Kevin has an
Jesus
existential crisis.
Christ. Just so old. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, it's over a decade then at this point.
Yeah, like give or take 13 years.
Was I 18? Holy shit.
Like, as in you were ever 18, or you were 18?
No. I mean, when I met Yami. I thought I was older. Maybe not. So, Yami, I knew you at the point when you were stuck on your roof.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait,
You knew me from most of this stuff.
You got stuck on your roof?
It wasn't a tall one.
No, I'll be right back.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, my home, I have a Hidden Valley roof, so the roof height, like the steeple, quote unquote, is not very tall. But still, I wouldn't want to jump off, like, my roof, even though it's only, 12 feet to the ground, give or take. I'd probably be fine. Still wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
this
even know how that
person
came
comes
up.
up in my early 20s.
When
I don't remember how the roof came up.
When I was like 16, I was working for a construction laborer for a company during the summers, and they had a lot of scaffolding they'd put up beside houses while they were doing stucco and stuff. And like, they'd always ask me like, "Hey, can you just go up to the top of the scaffolding and grab this or that?" And I'd be like, "Nope, won't do it." And like eventually, like I got peer pressured into going up there, and I was like, "Oh, this wasn't so bad." And like I felt like I had conquered my fear of heights. And then I came down and like everybody had this kind of like pale look on their faces. And one of the guys was just like, yeah, we didn't realize like those the scaffolding wasn't actually cinched to each other, so like it was just kind of freestanding. Like at any point in time, it could have just tipped. And I'm like,
That's horrifying.
oh, there's my fear coming right back.
Yeah.
Here it is again.
And that was the last time you did that?
When you go in and out of Iraq, they do combat landing and combat takeoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And for nomenclature, that means that rather than like slowly descending at like an even rate, they try to get as high as they possibly can and as low as they possibly can as quickly as possible. So like
in a helicopter?
No, in a plane.
Okay.
But you know, like a normal plane takes off, let's say at 45 degrees. I'm just making that number up, and it accelerates and you know, and it climbs altitude until it gets to its cruising height. This would be like going straight up at 70 degrees to get, so there's a minimal amount of time that something on the ground could shoot you. Right? And like that is terrifying. Like,
yeah, I hate everything about that sentence.
Like when you're going into landing and it's like, again, I'm making these numbers up because I don't know what they are, but it's a very steep angle and it just feels like you're free falling. You're not. You're perfectly fine, but it feels like it, and I hate it.
Yeah, that's like your like survival instinct going, this should not be a thing. So I don't feel like that's not warranted.
No, it's terrible.
I feel like my stomach drops when someone just floors it in a car immediately. Can't stop it.
Also, when I was 16, I was paying a friend of mine to take me to and from school, so I wouldn't have to ride the bus because I was a year younger, so I hadn't gotten my license yet. And one day he's taking us to school, and I'm like, I'm seeing us pass our school bus on the road, and I'm like, haha, losers. But I'm like, but man, my bus driver always is doing 20 over the speed limit. How are we passing him? So I just look at this fucking speedometer, and like, I'm like, holy shit, Brinson, you're doing fucking 90! And he's just like, huh? What? Oh, my bad. And like, I'm in the back seat. I'm the only one who doesn't have a seatbelt because it's a truck. And I'm like, Brinson, I don't have a seatbelt. You can't be going this fast. And the guy to the left and the right of me, they're just like, hey, clasp arms with us. We'll hold you in the vehicle. And I'm like, no, just slow down. I don't want to die. That dude got in like 6 accidents. Like, it's no joke. Like in like 4 or 5 years. He's totaled like 2 trucks by the time I met him again when I was 22.
God. Sometimes I hear stories about teenage boys, and I'm surprised any of you make it to adulthood.
This one time, I had a swing set in my backyard, and they were like metal covered with like this plastic. I don't know if you've ever seen it. There was a part of the metal that like was sticking out, and I didn't notice it. And so I was just like playing on the swing, and I'm like, oh, I got cut on my pant leg, whatever. And I'm walking away, and I'm like, did I just piss myself? What the hell's going on? I put my hand down my pants just to see, like, what the hell it is, and it's just completely covered in blood. And I was like, oh, yeah. So the swing took like a inch or so chunk of my skin out.
It took a bite out of you?
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Jesus.
Yeah, Blake and I were camping with a friend a couple years back, and he was like kneeling with a piece of wood between his legs, and he was like just kind of chopping off kindling, so like just small little chops. And all of a sudden, like, we all see it like almost get stuck and get real close to his knee. We're like, oh fuck, that was close. He's like, yeah, and he stood up and blood starts gushing, and he had just managed to hit one spot in his knee that didn't have a lot of nerve endings. So then we had to go to a hospital in the middle of nowhere and try to convince him that he had used an axe on his own leg. So luckily, this friend of ours, like, so you could see them trying to question us, right? Like, so you're saying that you guys were camping and then he used an axe and did this himself? But this is a friend of ours that we affectionately call Mouth because he is always running at the mouth. And so after about 10 minutes talking with him, they were like, oh yeah, this seems likely.
Well, last year I had bought a new set of knives, and I put them into the dishwasher like to get them clean. You know? And I was taking them out of the packaging, and I grabbed the whole silverware tray from the dishwasher, and I just bring it over to my silverware drawer, and I unload it there. And somehow the knives and the spoons like were so jammed in there because I put so many in at one time that I pulled a spoon out and a knife came out and it fell. And of course, I'm wearing bare feet in my own house. The knife went straight down, and it landed in between my toes, and I felt a stab or a sting, and I was like, oh, it must have just barely grazed me. Sure enough, though, like I pulled my foot up, there's just gushing blood. I mean, so much. And I'm like, oh man, I must have really gotten deep and not realized it. And it was kind of like you said, like I guess I just don't have a lot of nerve endings there because it didn't feel bad, but I was bleeding so much. So I'm trying to go through the house and like get the first aid kit and get myself cleaned up. But like I also don't want to stain like any of the rugs that I put down. I don't want to, leave a mess for somebody to trip on. And then I realized like my cat likes the taste of blood, and I'm trying to keep her. No, get out of there! Stop it! And like every time I turn around, like trying to hold pressure to my toe to get it to stop bleeding, while also keeping the cat off the existing blood pools, which there were a lot. Like it was a fucking ordeal.
So, did you ever wake up after that and the cat's just staring at you, like licking her lips?
Actually, the opposite happened. She used to come see me every morning. I'm really disappointed in her. Like my alarm would go off, and she'd come in. She'd like jump on my chest, and she'd like purr, and I'd pet her for a bit, and she stopped doing it. And I'm just like, oh, it's too early for you to grow up.
She's just a teenager. She'll come back.
Yeah, she'll get old.
Oh,
is Austin back?
Austin.
Yeah, I spoke like 5 minutes ago.
Did you? No.
Yeah.
Is everybody back? I feel like you fed the dogs really fast.
So when there's only one of us, things go a lot quicker because normally like we feed the dogs and then like grab a quick like dinner or something, and usually but like it's just me, so I'm on my headphones, so I've been moving around. So
what you're saying is you're at least 150% more efficient than Blake is. In fact, you might be, you're more efficient than Blake, and you are. Like he actually slows you down.
Only in aspects of like the household stuff, anything IT or car or finance related, I am a child.
What we're going to say is you permit him to do those things to feel good about himself. Man, Blake, really got to step up your game, man. All right, let's get back into it.
All right, we were picking rooms or had picked rooms in the castle.
Yep. And
how big are these chests?
They're big storage chests. They're like footlockers, so that you can put pretty much everything you own in one and carry it with you if you ever needed to.
Oh, I was going to say I was going to try to sleep in it.
Definitely big enough for that. It's probably 3.5 feet long. It's a goblin-sized coffin if you want it to be.
I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah. Put some blankets down in there and just close the lid and hope for God that nobody locks you in there. That was the chance for anybody to say, oh, by the way, in the middle of the night, I go by and I lock him in there.
No.
I think we all just keep forgetting that the goblin's there, right? That was our last session. We keep like, oh, have you always been here? Nova pulls him out of her backpack holding a scroll. Have you always been there?
There's going to be a session coming up where, like, you guys meet when he's not around. And you're just like, yeah, so, Nova, your friend Gex. Whoa, I thought he was your friend. Whoa, I thought he was your friend.
He's just the goblin that's been sleeping on the couch for 3 months.
Eating all the food in the fridge.
Yes.
The worst.
You can make this place a little bit more personable. It's clean and well kept. It's a good part of the tower there, and it's largely your own. Nobody really comes near here or by here. It's not on the way to anything else except for the main stairway. You have a little bit of royalty here at your feet. And you
Yes.
can get a good and pleasant night's rest. In the morning,
Oh, thank God.
you know that today you have to report to the High Marshal at some point in time. But what would you like to do, if anything?
So did I get back sometime before the morning?
Never
or-
got
Yeah.
back.
You would
Okay.
you would come back that night as well.
Okay. Just making sure.
Sorry, I think I was going to say it, and then I just skipped over it.
Just didn't. Just fucking ignored me.
You guys can find him in the nearest ditch outside. Multiple stab wounds.
Jesus
It's a whodunit now.
fucking Christ.
So, what are we doing?
Is anybody getting breakfast? Translation: is anybody bringing breakfast to the group?
Room service.
I mean, we are in a castle. But,
I look
Right.
around for like a bell to ring.
did they say anything about providing us any food, or no?
No.
Okay.
This would be part of what you would want to discuss with the marshal when you see her. Osborne originally, if he had time to be here with you, he was going to start showing you around and getting you into accustomed to things, but he obviously is too busy to report back yet.
Wow. It's like he doesn't even want to be party. Fucking-
I'm sorry, we have bills. I need Blake to help with that.
Sam, I just want you to know, like, this is not your fault. It's just Blake's. Like, Blake's exclusively. So, what are you guys doing?
I mean, I suppose go to see the
Are we just going into a different area of the castle?
Yes.
You're bringing your chest, aren't you? Just carrying it, even though it's your size. It's bigger than you.
Compared to the cat, how heavy is the chest?
Oh my god.
Empty?
Fucking knew it.
Yeah,
Probably 20 pounds.
it's
It's just a
like
small
half-
little. It's just a child-sized coffin.
It's like half the size,
Coffin?
half the weight of the cat.
Wait, did you say the word coffin?
Yeah, for him, it's effectively a coffin.
Asking everybody, before we go off on whatever special missions they have in mind for us, do we need anything? Maybe we could ask for an allowance, or not an allowance, we can ask for an advance on what they're going to pay us, because, I mean, we did really well, but also we lost 2 people and multiple of us almost died. It would be nice to have a little bit more, little more healing potions and maybe, I don't know, more sharp stuff.
You know, you're right. We should go to a local funeral house and have a ceremony done for them.
No. I mean, yes, but also maybe, we're still alive and would like to stay that way. And while I'm all about, I was about to say believing in the gods, but we don't believe in gods here. I think it might be prudent to maybe stock up a little bit more. And so, unless you guys happen to have a whole bunch of healing stuff that you just didn't share last time as everyone was almost dying.
No, that's
I,
probably a good idea.
Bought a
Especially
potion.
since. Sorry.
I bought a potion.
I would feel better if we would have more than one apiece.
One. I don't have any. I'm making my bed in the coffin.
We just stopped in the hallway.
They're, like, you do have a bed, right? Like, you were given a bed or no?
It's at the foot of his cot.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just prefers a nice warm space.
Wants to be fucking locked in a box.
Ice goblin out of the box.
Why did I immediately know you were gonna fucking carry that with you?
Because you've known him for 10 years.
Yeah, I guess.
It's half the weight of the cat. I could do that.
Well, I mean, clearly, you've been training.
Yeah, now I have a 9 strength.
So, would we like to ask for an advance so that we can get more healing potions and maybe sharp things, or maybe something a little more protective for people?
I think we should find out what we're doing first. That way we know what we should buy to accomplish that goal.
Okay.
That does make sense.
Logic.
I have so
I
much
think
faith for our group. Okay. Let's
So-
go find out what our mission is then, and if there happens to be some, like, as we're walking through the hallways and someone's, they've got breakfast somewhere, like, not a continental breakfast, but, something that maybe we can dive in and
In
start
fact,
eating.
as you pass through the one of the levels that contains the bulk of the army's barracks here in the castle, you will pass the mess quarters, and they do freely distribute to you. It's fairly simple breakfast, but the nature of having a wizard in the party means prestidigitation is always there to make a simple breakfast much better.
Mm.
And,
But do I do it?
well, that's really up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I will.
Can I change the flavor? I thought it was just a smell of stuff.
Yeah, you can flavor stuff too.
Yeah, it does like everything.
Yeah, it smells so fucking good. All right.
So you can
full
get a
farm
quick breakfast and then pass on. Are you reporting to the High Marshal?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So,
Once you find her office, it is a bit sparse. It holds little more than a desk heaped with documents, shelves filled with rolled scrolls, and a board on which is pinned a map of the surrounding province of Nightland. Vindri stands as you enter, and she says, "Thank you for coming. I won't mince words. We're in the dark regarding the dangers I fear are fast approaching our gates, and your role will be to change that. But first, I'm sure you must have questions." And she throws a bunch of papers around. I guess that's what that noise was. And she offers a seat to each of you.
Sorry.
Paper hits me in the face. It's like a paper airplane.
now you just got
Oh.
the flavor.
Yeah, we were wondering if you could enlighten us more onto how you think that we can help and what our purpose will be.
Right now, you stand as some of our most accomplished soldiers against the Dragon Army.
Oh boy.
Most of our
I
scouts
mean, yeah.
have not returned. Those that haven't gotten as much information as you have, nor have they fought these creatures in combat or returned to tell the tales of their units and tactics. You represent a lot of things that are going to be very useful to us. Initially, we have questions that will be answered, and your first assignment should be arriving to you shortly.
Halberds would be good. To arm your people with, I mean.
Based on your accounts of their death throes, yes, I agree.
But also, an axe head would give you a lot of downward thrust to crush the bones on their wings so they can't glide anymore.
That is actually a really good idea.
She nods at that and writes some of that down. And she says, "For your own selves, feel free to report to our quartermaster. You can freely take
All right.
among our weapons and light and medium armor. You can find it on the first floor. The mess has already been opened up to you. I'm hoping you've already found it." And your salary is paid in advance each week. You can collect it from the clerk.
All right, and if we're going into danger, is there any chance of perhaps an advance? Such that we, what the fuck?
Sorry, that was the dog.
Scared the shit. That was
It
a
sounded
dog.
like, it sounded like a person celebrating a touchdown.
I thought Blake was suddenly back or something.
Blake was just watching the game.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No.
Scared the shit out of me.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, fuck. Since if we're heading into danger, some extra healing supplies might be of use.
Our quartermaster should be able to fit you with some healing kits. Unfortunately, as far as potions, we're a bit sparse ourselves. We might be able to acquire more of that as this war progresses and our infrastructure to our local people starts to orient the war effort.
Alright, fair enough.
Is there a postal benefit to our position?
Postal benefit?
I want to send a letter.
Okay. So yeah. She'll tell you about how the there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it right now. But she'll tell you how the post works and how you can arrange to have your letters delivered.
Great.
In general, if you have something immediate, you can always bring it to her clerk, and they'll be happy to drop it off for you.
That's all I got. Anybody else?
I want to look at the armor.
Yeah, let's go find out what kind of weapons they're going to outfit us with. Maybe give us a better idea of what we're getting into.
She says, take the morning for yourselves and report back to your lodging by midday. I should have your assignment finished. I just have to finish getting the people of Vogler who have decided to become enthusiastic conscripts outfitted with themselves. But after that, your first assignment should be ready and you can carry on.
Oh yeah, since I'm retarded, I meant to present the necklace that the mayor gave me to everybody, and also check what it was during the whole night thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
when
identify?
people were sleeping, but I wasn't. I do not.
Okay.
Oh, I don't either, but could I maybe do a religion
I'll
or
take a
something
look at it.
check?
I'll look at
I'll
it
make
with
an
the
Arcana
normalized.
check.
Anyone can make any check they would like. Nova, though,
Okay.
you recognize this as a rune of the Jotun.
I was going to ask if I had any advantage because of that background. Do I recognize what it is? Or do you want me to roll for that?
You recognize that this, roll for this one.
You want Arcana, religion?
Let's say Arcana, and I'll give you advantage on it. Okay, so Arthanos, you also recognize that this appears to be a rune, and it does look like it comes from some of the giant peoples, some of the giant folk.
Okay.
Nova, your understanding is a bit more advanced than his, despite the lower roll. This appears to be a fragment of a larger rune. Likely, this broke off of something that held a series of runes on it at one point in time, and this is just a piece of it. But it collectively, it's this would be the Vind, which is not so dissimilar from wind. This is a rune of Vind.
And Storm King's Thunder is going to come in clutch for remembering the rune names.
Mm-hmm.
So it being just a fragment, so it's still got some power, or it stands for its own thing. Oops, sorry guys, trying to use foil at the same time as talking. So does it still have its own power and its own name, or is it just incomplete?
So you think that you can re-empower this amulet, but it would take some resources to do so. It probably costs about 50 gold to re-empower this. As an alternative, you can transcribe this rune onto something else,
Ooh.
and then you could add more runes to it.
Oh, interesting.
And that would either give it more power or it would give it unique effects depending on what you put it on. And if you give me a moment.
Moon juice. Could you re-empower it with some moon juice?
Moon energy.
Just leave
Bit
it
of
in
the
a bottle.
shine?
Just leave a bottle out for the full moon to see.
If you infuse this amulet, it will adopt the whisper property. It'll allow you to speak an inaudible whisper, and the wind itself will carry your message to your intended target. No one else can intercept or hear this message. It effectively allows you to cast message freely.
I want this so bad.
It's pretty cool.
If you...
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. So I've spent quite a few summers with, what were they called again? The
You could say the giant folk or the Jotun.
with the Jotun. I'm going to use their official title to make me sound cooler. And while there, I had this natural gift for rune making and understanding, and this is definitely like it's only part, but it's part of a bigger rune. But basically, this is like wind and sky, or maybe water. No, it's wind. It's wind. It's for sure. And I think I could kind of like I think I could bring some magic back to it. Is it okay if I hold on to it for a little bit while I tinker?
I wouldn't have guessed you were so knowledgeable about this. Yeah, sure. And I'll just hand it over to you.
I am both like a little insulted and also a little impressed at the negging. Well done.
Oh, that wasn't my intention. But all right.
So that's how Nova's gonna see it, because that's how she would play it.
All right.
But yeah, I'll just give it to you.
Now you...
I love that I'm trying to play this game of like politics and stuff with my like fellow players. Are like, oh yeah, we're like
Too honest.
None of you were interested in playing this game, and I'm like, yes, I meant dance puppets, and then you're just like landing punches without even trying.
I mean, Arthas is supposed to just be kind of awkward, so it's like I don't know there's a game being played here.
Nova definitely thinks there's a game, and you are definitely a player to be watched now.
He's setting you up by pretending to be complacent.
Oh my god, he's just as smart as the Ren is. Oh, I'll have to watch both of them. And now I suspiciously look at the goblin, trying to figure out, like, so clearly...
If you've ever watched, like, an intellectual anime, and they're just like, but if I move my pen now, he'll know I'm writing something, so I'll have to disguise it with this potato chip bag. Huh. I observed that potato chip bag was missing 2/3 of its contents, meaning you're using it to hide your writing. Oh my god. You know, oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
You can also transcribe the rune for 100 gold worth of resources onto a pair of boots. While below half health, you can move freely without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Oh, that's pretty
Wow,
sick.
that's nuts.
Yami says, as a goblin and a rogue that can both disengage the bonus actions.
I also took mobile.
Yeah. Man, you could take that and just step all over Yami's toes in your new ass boots.
I mean,
Anyways.
if you were planning on getting new clothes anyways, you might as well make one of them rune, I don't know, imbued.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Okay. I will have to look.
Sorry, can I
Okay.
propose a third use for it, Tony? If embroidered into a cloak, it becomes a cloak of billowing. 20 gold.
All out.
So it's just like Doctor Strange's cloak.
So a cloak of billowing, you can use. I think it's a bonus action to cause the cloak to blow
Yeah.
magnificently in the wind. It's a common
also-
magic item from Xanathars.
Amazing.
It's just there for
Okay.
dramatic effect.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not above it.
You
All right,
can
I'll think about it.
find your way to the armory pretty quickly, and the quartermaster there pretty much offers you any simple or martial weapon, and any reasonable number that you can carry. Also, any light armor or any medium armor.
I would just like to trade in this sword for one that is, well, not as acid pocked. Thank you.
Yep, they'll take it and get it reserviced, and in the meantime, issue you a new longsword of your choice.
Yeah.
Is there
Rin
any?
is. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Rin is worse at pointing out the details of swords and things like that. Not really a weapon person.
I definitely want to be trying on different studded leathers. See if any fit me.
They'll have some personnel to help both of you. For you, Ren, you might not have a huge interest there, but they'll help kind of get you a sword that's actually like measured to your body so that it's the right proportions for you to use. And for you, Gex, they will help outfit you with the number of studded leather armors. They're pretty uniform in make, but as they adjust some of the fittings on them, they fit tremendously better, which helps a lot.
Yummy, are you trying on like starting too small or too big armor?
Probably.
I just want to
too
know which
big.
way this montage is going.
Probably too big, and then so I like come out of whatever, like a dressing room, if not whatever they have, and then you just like don't even see my head. It's just like a chest piece.
And then you go too small.
Just like little hands.
Right, because like they've got armor size for like gnomes and halflings, which are body wise about the same size as you, but you're a goblin, so you have a giant head and ears, right? So like it's a painful process to just get it through the opening. Now your ears are all red and sore, poor boy. But
Gotta shove it through the hole,
but they'll get you outfitted, and if you have some ammo that you're looking for, crossbow, bows, swords, daggers, basic things like that, as long as you're within reasonable contents, they'll outfit you and get you armed.
If they're just handing this shit out, I'll take some
Yeah.
studded leather.
How are we gonna do ammo? You want me to keep track?
I do not ever want to discuss ammo again.
Simplifies things.
Yeah.
Just knock off a couple monies whenever you come back to town. It'll be fine.
Just assume that you're spending some time either making arrows or buying arrows. And if you get a special type of ammunition, then yes. But for basic ass shit, I don't care. I don't think anybody cares.
I've just
What
been in
about
places.
arrows with alchemist flask vials at the end.
Alchemist Flask is going to be a bit beyond like where you guys are at for acquisition purposes.
Oh, I'm not going to use any. I was just saying, is that like what you mean by special ammunition?
Yeah, if you picked up an arrow of dragon slaying,
Oh, okay.
like yeah, I expect that to be tracked.
Actually, I might have a good idea. Could you purchase an arrow with like a whistle at the end, so when it's fired, it makes a really loud noise?
What is it,
There's
like
like a
Nerf
channel for air
football?
to go through.
Fucking
No,
love
it
those
just-
footballs.
Nerf football.
You could probably make one. Making one would probably be
Okay.
simple enough.
Yeah, I would like to try that. That sounds like a Rin fun hobby to do.
Cool. Let me know when
He's
you,
gonna try and make them sound like bird calls.
let
That's
me know
the
when you
plan.
set some time aside, and we'll have you roll for it.
I love that, like, there's these dragon folk that have killed half of our party, turned the other half to stone. Nobody has seen or understood what's going on. And you're like, I'm going to make birds out of my arrows.
Well, they would be useful for signaling things.
Like the dragons, like burn here.
Yeah.
And crossbow I can get.
Yeah.
If there is a prettier crossbow than what I
Oh,
currently
like
own,
crossbow.
They'll have both available.
I'll take, if there's a fancier looking crossbow, I'll take it. And then I'll pick up, actually, if they have any kind of like fencing foil, I'll pick up one too. I don't think I really know how to use it, but it looks cool. And in my head, like, I'll figure it out.
They'll
Oh,
have
Ren can teach you how to fence.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they'll have pretty much the basic things that you're looking for. None of it is pretty or fancy. It's all very utilitarian. But you can get outfitted if you're willing to take something that's, kind of got a little bit of wear on it. Not wear like it's not serviceable. Wear like, oh yeah, this is really smooth around the corners because more than a few generations have used this stock.
Got it. Okay. And we'll take the prettiest one I can find out of the non-pretty options. And at some point, I'm sure Ren will see me practicing badly with it. But
Fair enough.
I can use sharp bow. I was actually thinking sharp bow. So I'm just, like when people are like jumping off a building onto like clotheslines, and they have like a sock or a shirt, and they kind of just like use it to glide down the clothesline. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, you're talking about zip lining.
Yeah, but not exactly a zip line. Yeah, but you understand.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of doing that with like a bow, if I need to like get the hell out. So maybe bow's better than a crossbow.
Maybe. You have to like de-string it in order to get that over the zip line, though, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think the bow is just better in general
In every
for
way.
a lot of purposes.
Yeah.
I think it fits the aesthetic more. Easier to carry in my coffin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about loading it,
Yeah.
It's got some good stuff to it. But take some time, add what you want to your character sheet. Like I said, as long as you're reasonable, they'll make sure to outfit you. Where are you guys going next?
Good question.
How long would that take?
Eh,
Because we have till
because
midday,
there was a
right?
bit of a montage, maybe half an hour to an hour.
So we got time then.
is like during this montage, it's just Yami like trying like different like sized armor as he's like bouncing in and out of the corners.
I imagine it's a
Pretty
lot
much.
of like trying to get his head through the opening to a new set of armor, trying to get him unstuck from the old set of armor.
Love it.
But-
Cody, if I was trying to find a scroll,
Mhm.
where would I go for that? Would that just be the apothecary, or like she didn't have any, as far as I can remember?
She
I
did
don't
not
remember.
present any. But you'll
present
notice
any,
that
okay.
most of her potions and things like that, she didn't present them to you until you asked for them. It seems like the actual surface level of the shop is tailored towards more mundane folk, and that you, as a aspiring mage, had access to her more selective inventory when prompted.
Right. Okay. I'm going to. It doesn't seem all that far away. I'm gonna head back there and try to get. What the fuck is that, Yami? What did you do?
Well, so I know why it's saying that, but like AC is not incorrect. Wouldn't that just mean it's fine?
It's correct. How do you do this every time? Something fucks up. I'm gonna go there and try to get a fucking scroll of identify.
Okay. Now,
Oh god.
identify also needs a material component.
Does it?
Yeah.
Pearl with 100 gold.
What? I thought
It's not
Oh,
consumed. You just have to
it-
have it.
it doesn't get consumed. So,
Or wait,
can
is
you
the
use
pearl
a
50
focus in
gold?
place of that? I thought you could use
Nope.
a focus.
Not if it has a gold
Not,
cost.
not if it has a gold cost.
I thought that was the only one that was consumed.
Oh, chromatic orb is the one that is the 50 gold gemstone
Okay.
that identifies 100 gold pearl.
Well, in that case, I guess I can go fuck myself.
Yeah.
Free action.
Just fucking. I am still gonna get the scroll. If she has it.
She does, and for you,
She doesn't like me. I don't think.
She'll offer it for 25 gold, and you do feel like you're getting a deal.
Okay. Let's go with that, as I failed to do basic arithmetic. And I'm gonna keep my mouth fucking shut, so I don't say something that makes her hate me.
That
As
seems
clearly
to
I'm,
boost her opinion of you immensely.
Yeah, figured. Okay, and then time for me to look up how long it fucking takes to scribe a scroll, because this is not something we dealt with.
Can you
A long
sneak
time.
attack with a ranged weapon?
Yes.
It's 2 hours per spell level, isn't it? Halved if it's your school of study. That's in the wizard class. It tells you there.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Well, yeah, I just had to pull
He's
it up.
not a traditional wizard, so he doesn't get any advantages to scribing scrolls.
No,
Blazingers get
one.
one, don't they?
Mm-mm.
no.
They're
They're
weapon stuff.
yeah, that's the trade-off. So it's going to cost 50 gold, is it, Tony? Each level of spell takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold.
Yep, 25 for the scroll, 50 for the scribing, and 100 for the material. That adds up quick.
Fuck my life.
Might be the most expensive first level spell in the game.
Fucking
It's a good
Jesus
spell, though.
Christ. Like, yeah, apparently we'll need it. I mean, I guess I'm going to spend the rest of the morning doing that.
Okay.
Scribing it in, and then I guess I'll also buy whatever materials I need from Wyan.
Okay. Do you have the material? Do you have the gold for a pearl?
I do not have the gold for a pearl. Only enough to,
Oh, the
Scribe it.
scribing ingredients. Yeah, she'll have that for you.
Yep. And then perhaps I'll find one, or the gold when we actually start looting things.
Who knows?
Why have we not been doing this?
That's been a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
All right. Anything else?
We did loot the delegation lady, and her horse. We did that.
You know what we didn't loot? Our characters.
Yeah.
How much money did you have on yourself, or did Nine have, Yummy?
Oh, I don't know. I actually think I forgot to buy things, so a lot.
Fantastic. I'm glad we left all that. God damn it. AC is not incorrect.
So, what are we doing?
Funeral home.
You can. Oof. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, is there a standard thing for this?
For doing something to honor friends that were left on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Funeral home
this is a new
probably
situation.
isn't going to help. And because the god's been gone for so long, temples and things like that probably aren't going to be prevalent for this purpose either. But when you kind of look into this, the soldiers here do have some traditions to honor the fallen. And they're usually drinking ceremonies of some kind. Type that are like, spill a bit of wine for those that can't be here to dine with us tonight, so on and so forth.
When he says "dine with us," I get sad.
Aw.
So, where's the nearest place I can buy alcohol from?
They'll point you out to some of the taverns and inns in the city.
Great. I go get a drink.
You can do so.
Then I find, is there like a public park nearby or like a little town square?
Yes.
Okay, great. I steal a mug. I tell them that I'll be right back. I just gotta go do something real quick. And I leave them like 10 gold as leverage for the mug.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to that little area and I drink half of it and I pour the rest on the ground. And then I mumble to myself for a little bit and I'll bring the mug back and I'll pick up the 7 gold that was 10 and now is only 7. And that'll be my funeral rite for my good friend Dine and Akash, but I didn't know him as well.
Pretty sweet.
You basically have this as a way of remembering those that fought with you and couldn't be here to join you. Take an inspiration for remembering the fallen. Gex, there is that voice that has been following you, and although it doesn't say anything, it just seems relaxed and at ease.
Just like I'll just be walking down a hallway and start looking around like, it's like someone taking a bath.
And what now
Soak it
as
in
your
the tub.
morning draws closer to midday?
Anybody?
I mean, after I'm done that scribing that scroll, I don't have anything in particular.
Okay. I'll clean Water Lily's horseshoes off, and then I'll go to the midday report for duty.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of like packing, going through my stuff, trying to figure out what's clean and nice and what's, needs to be mended or anything like that, just to keep up appearances so I look good. Maybe wash my hair and dry it if we have enough time.
Oh yeah, and I drop a letter off with the clerk.
And is this to your,
Sure is.
Okay. Yami, if I watch you put your fucking hand into a jar of peanut butter again, I will kill you.
It's a letter to my mom.
Aw. What's it like to actually, like, care about your parents? That's gotta be.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Not gonna lie, it's pretty nice.
Shit's pretty cash, man. Midday will approach. And each of you can find your way back to your lodging as you were directed to do. And you start to hear heavy footsteps coming up the stairs, and then finally into the hallway that leads to your ballroom, so to speak. And coming in through the door is a young man clad in heavy armor who looks pretty happy to see you. Darrett strides into the room, and he waves at each of you, making sure to catch your eye, Ren. And he says, "How's everyone doing?"
Does he look like he like grew like 10 inches, like 10 years?
No. He looks better than yesterday, for those of you that saw him, for sure.
Nope.
He looks like he slept.
Stop it.
Well, okay, Darrett leaves.
Sorry.
He looks like he slept, and he's sort of carrying himself with a bit of pride. And he smiles genuinely at each of you. And he says, "Well, I spent quite a bit of yesterday demonstrating my training to Marshal Vendry and her commanders. She's pretty pleased with what Becklin taught me. So, since there's all these new recruits from Vogler that want to join the army, she's putting together a unit from Vogler. And I'm going to be teaching them the basics on how to fight, to a lot of what Becklin taught me."
That's great. And you look great. Look at you.
Thank you.
I do have a tip. Halberds.
We've actually been looking into that. We've got halberds, glaives, and long arms in general coming in to help. It might help keep some.
Glaives won't be as useful because they're not going to be as good as getting through the scales because they're slashing weapons. You really want a halberd because it has both the piercing power and the blunt power because of the weight of the axe head.
And you said you were not a weapons guy, but he'll break into weapon mode, weapon talk with you, talk shop. He says, "Yeah, but there's a lot of training that goes on, and a lot of our recruits, they're not as upper body strength strong as..." And he just kind of goes on to it and talks about the glaive will be simpler to pick up initially.
Well, the halberd's actually easier because you can train it like it's a spear at first, ignoring the axe part entirely. You basically thrusts and, lunges, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. So an hour and a half passes, and finally he says, "Well, keep that in mind. Maybe we can requisition more halberds in the next order. But Marshal Vindry also wanted me to, well, certainly not serve as your commander, but while Osborne will be with you as sort of an on-site liaison, I'll be kind of your envoy here between the armed forces in the castle and you heading out into the field. Figured you guys might appreciate someone, someone local.
What are your orders, Captain? I stand at attention.
How old is he?
He's young.
Sorry.
He's probably about 18, 17,
Oof.
18.
And
he
how
says,
old's the oldest of us?
Rin is 28.
About 80.
I like that one.
Fucking elves.
Is my age not in here?
he says,
Yeah, 28's fine.
again, I'm not your commander. I'm just delivering the orders from Vindry. And I can advocate for you if you need. This way you don't have to worry about taking care of everything logistically when you come back to town. So if you have special requisitions or if you need someone to get authority for something from a higher command, you don't have to do all the legwork yourself. Unless you want to.
I do tend to want to. I like being hands-on.
He'll give you a nod and he says, well, when you need me, let me know. But as far as your first mission goes, he says, as I scroll down here, Marshal Vindry and the leadership are disturbed to hear about this dragon-like invention that the Red Dragon Army deployed in Vogler. I only caught a glimpse of it as I boarded my boat, but it seems like some sort of siege unit.
Oh, yeah, I had an idea for that too.
Oh, they got a. I kind of laugh a little bit. They got real acquainted with that one.
Just groan.
So, I've seen this before, right? And I turn to Nova and Arthanos. Wizards, excuse me. Wizards can make water, right? Just like in the air and in barrels. I've seen that happen. Can't you just like make water in it and then it'll hit the fire that's really hot and then make a bunch of steam?
If you got the proper spell, sure.
You should do that.
I think it would work that way. I can't say I've got a spell myself. I don't know it, but if we find it,
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that sounds kind of close to like cooking, and I've never, or doing laundry, and I've never really done that. So I don't have that spell, but I will definitely look into it.
Huh. You know, I hadn't considered there would be a spell that you wouldn't know.
Oh,
That seems
fuck,
weird.
he is. The negging continues. Oh, it's so brilliant. Nova's like esteem of you guys is just going up, and I'm so impressed.
Well, then we can find it together. We can go talk to the lady who always looks at me with sharp eyes and ask her if she has the thing, right?
The fact that Ren doesn't realize how insulting that would be, like that a non-mage is like, I'll help you do this. Don't worry, friend. Like, oh, it's so insulting.
what is
I love
the
it so
spell even?
much.
Is it?
It's
it actually
create
just-
water.
It's just create water, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
The fuck?
So, I had two thoughts about that. This is a brilliant plan, by the way. I don't think you guys realize how good of a plan this is. So the dragon vessel isn't a creature, right? It's an object.
Mhm.
It's a container that you could cast create water on or above. Either way works. But like, you know what happens when 10 gallons of water hits a furnace?
A lot of steam.
Lot of steam. Obscures their vision, burns their flesh. It's all good.
Yeah, that would actually be good. What would happen if one were to cast grease into that thing? Would it
Fun.
work?
I thought you were gonna say green flame blade.
No, fuck off.
It
I know what
turns
happens
really
there.
fast. The wheels
Um,
don't squeak anymore. The rotor is silky smooth.
It's like maybe just spreads pitch all over bitches and. Oh, and then Sam just left.
I'm sad. I have been thinking about like tactical ways we could fight that thing, and I think it's very funny to just hit it with a bucket. Just toss
We can
water
beat it
on
as long as we lead it into the sea.
I feel like I missed too much.
It's a first level spell.
It is
seems like a
first.
good plan.
I thought it was higher than that, but I was thinking
Nope.
it'd create food and water. I think.
Yeah, that's third.
So
Yeah, I mean that would actually be really good. Or create water.
Darrett will.
Sorry, I missed. What was the plan for this thing? I'm sorry.
They want to dump
Cast
water
create
on
water. Yeah,
Dump
we'll
water on
cast
what?
create water into the furnace of the dragon,
Oh.
Yeah,
the spitty one.
the siege weapon.
Otherwise, your plan is just kill everybody, right? All the people manning it.
Kind of, but yeah, create or destroy water. That sounds much more efficient.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
more
really
fun. I think the most efficient way would just to be kill them with arrows before it can get in range.
Well, yeah, probably.
But that's the most efficient thing for most warfare, so does it really count?
Darrett will say, so they're pretty concerned about this construct. It's pretty advanced, and we asked some of the gnomish artificers nearby, and they didn't seem to think that it was an easy thing to build or manipulate. So they're kind of looking into calling in their experts. There's a gnome named Tatina Rukeldust. She lives about 12 miles south of the capital. They were hoping that you could visit her estate and see what she knows about this construct, if anything. And even if she doesn't know anything at all, she's going to be an expert that we would like to have involved in the war effort if she's willing. We'd like for you to ask her to come to the city so that we can look at having her hired on as an advisor.
You have a letter of introduction?
He will reach into a pouch at his side and pulls out exactly that.
Great. Then we just need to requisition 3 horses from the quartermaster, and I think that's everything I would need. I'd look at everyone else.
Why'd you need 3 horses?
There's 3 of you?
You know, I thought you meant that you needed them all for yourself. I'm fucking retarded today.
Because Blake's character has his own horse. I have my own horse, and then there's 3 of you.
That's yep.
Yeah.
Does the goblin need his own horse?
Give me a pony.
He rides
He's
the
an
trestle.
official member of this group.
Can we get him a
Trust
goat?
him.
Isn't
I
it
feel
like
like-
he needs, like
I
he
mean,
needs
a
something
goat,
more
I
his
feel like would be
size?
fitting.
Yeah, let's find him a goat. We don't need a full horse.
So the
Goats are
correct
mean.
answer is actually to get him a mastiff.
I agree with that. Yeah, get him a
Yeah.
dog. Big dog.
But we have a cat.
And
I don't think cats
Cat
have
can
wings.
fly though.
so.
No, I meant they might not get along.
The
Oh.
lore of Tressum says that one of their favorite things is to tease dogs. No joke.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just kidding. Now I want a mastiff.
Perfect.
I want an asshole cat to tease dogs.
So Darrett says horses might be a little hard to come by, but let me see what I can do. You know, I'm in this position. Maybe I can start to pull some of those strings.
It would just give them more time to use her expertise before the army gets here. I think every moment counts, including this one.
Ren, you're so so masterful at this. I love it.
At what?
Manipulating.
What?
Oh, you're being earnest. Oh, okay.
Man, those are some good films. Ernest Goes to Prison.
I'll tell you right now, my intelligence is 8.
Yep, it's smarter than you.
I'm sad. Because Ren isn't, like, unintelligent.
Well,
He's just not smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's also talk about who the smartest people in the party are.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yami's really smart too.
Nova thinks
what-
everything you're saying is being like manipulative and like there's no way you're that sweet and that gullible and that like earnest to do good work.
Why
Like
don't we
clearly,
just dump water on it? You're like, why didn't I think of this? This is brilliant.
right? Like, oh yes, but if we have horses, we get there faster, and then we're able to use her resources faster. Like, oh man, the guy doesn't want to walk so bad that he came up with this great excuse. I love it.
I know was a bitch. Yeah, the Tressum is fucking 11 in.
Wait, smarter than most people then. This isn't an insult.
Yeah, not really, I suppose.
Oh, Albert Einstein was smarter than the people of Venice. Wait, where the fuck? You know what? Ignore that statement.
Yeah, I don't think
Don't
11
fucking
is
at me.
Albert Einstein.
So, Darrett will disappear to, unless you have any questions for him, he'll disappear to start seeing if he can get you some horses. And you guys have your first mission in hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
So,
going to see a man about a goblin or a goblin about a machine. Like, can't fuck that up too badly, right?
I mean, it worked last time.
how do you convince gnomes to do stuff? Like, come with you to be a part of a massive war.
Money?
Do gnomes care about money?
Last time, all we had to do was show an interest in what he was working on.
Yeah, I think if we present them a challenge, right? We talk about how amazing this machine is that we saw. Like, I think that would be they're competitive, right?
Ooh, I have an idea then.
Okay.
You guys can make pictures of the thing show up, right?
Yeah. Well,
Let's
we
get
like to call
a-
them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we can go to an engineer or something, somebody who does blueprints, and you could have the image appear on the paper so they could trace it, and then we could show them the blueprints so we wouldn't have to poorly explain it to them. Oh, but you guys could just cast the thing, couldn't you?
I cast the thing.
Is there like paper around here? Like parchment of any sort?
You could
I
certainly
got
get some. Yeah.
scrolls.
I want to try to like do a recreation drawing of the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Since,
saying. You can minor illusion, trace over the image. That's perfect.
Are you just doing it on your own, or are you doing what he's
Yeah.
suggesting?
Well, I can't cast spells.
Well, I mean,
No,
somebody
it-
would have to do it for you.
You could ask someone
But if
to
you're
do
just doing
it.
it on your own, just say you're doing it on your own, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try on my own first.
Make a
I'm
performance
gonna put
check.
it on the fridge either way, so like
Make a performance or a non-proficient dexterity check.
sleight of hand I think is applicable.
Eh,
Take
You-
my inspiration.
I mean, you get the shapes right.
No. Take my inspiration.
Oh, speaking of inspiration, did I lose my inspiration or
Yes.
not? Okay, I did. Tony at no point said that you lost the gamble. So
I mean, you did lose the gamble, but then I also gave Rin some inspiration, which he can then pay back to you if he wants.
No, I'm gonna give it to Yami so we can draw.
only. So I roll again, or do I take the 12?
Either or.
I would roll again.
Yeah, it's not. No, I don't have.
In fact, I will give you the help action.
Oh yeah. 6. Evidently, I'm not good at drawing.
Never mind.
So a 9.
Yeah.
With a 9, you get the shapes right. I mean, it's a competent piece for like generalizing the overall shape and design of it.
Like here's the wheels, here's the fire.
Right. What it fails to show, God, that dog is thirsty. What it fails to show is like any of the actual machinations of how it moves, how pieces are connected to other pieces. But I mean, shape and design, it's overall accurate.
I'm gonna give it to Artemis.
I was gonna
Like,
say, you almost said Ostrava again, didn't you?
I almost did. I don't know. I'm like stuck on Ostrava for some reason tonight.
Just because I named so many characters Ostrava. Okay.
Like this is the best I could do. It's
Right,
kind of
I mean-
hot.
Right. Yes. It was. This will be extremely helpful. I'm sure. Sort of, doing that break out into a cold sweat thing makes it really uncomfortable. The whole lying thing. Do you perhaps want to try again while you're looking at this, and then I'll present the minor illusion.
Is the minor illusion more detailed than my memory?
I mean, I'm obligated to say yes.
Obligated to say yes. I want to say yes.
It's magic, right? Like if
Project
every
mind
illusion,
eye.
if every illusion had a concept of like, you also had to have some artistry to it. I think that a lot of magic would be less interesting.
Also, wizards with creativity, that doesn't exist.
How do you make
That's-
new spells if you don't have creativity?
No, it's like the sorcerers. Well, okay, the new spells, I guess. Well, maybe you make a good point. I was thinking like autistic book nerd or some shit. But yeah, like I thought it was essentially, a projection of whatever I'm thinking of.
That's why I said yes. Out of obligation.
Just another performance?
Yeah, make a unskilled dexterity check. One of those. Okay, yeah, that's a much better representation once you can see what's a refresher of how pieces moved and connected to each other. Yeah, it's not quite on the level of being blueprints or schematics, but it definitely conveys a lot of what it does and how it works.
Right, much better. You can present that to the gnome when we get there. I think it'll be very helpful.
Yeah, that's fine.
I fully intend to, when he presents this this picture to the gnome, I'm going to just minor illusion above his head where he can't see. So it's just a clearer image. Compared to the minor illusion, how good is it? I'm guessing pretty good.
Again, I'm obligated to say that the illusion is basically perfect.
Yeah, but you can't keep the illusion.
So this would be very, very good.
Okay.
So, what are you guys doing?
About how far away was it again that we were on?
About 12 miles.
Oh, we need horses.
And what, we're at midday now, getting horses. So, should we? We should probably head out as soon as possible, especially if we're on horses. We could be there before too late, right? Nova has no concept of how long it takes to get anywhere.
Yeah, 12 miles isn't that far.
It's actually not. Horses don't necessarily make you move too much faster, but what they do is they spare you the effort of traveling.
Right.
The fuck
They
is
also
mine?
allow a gnome to bring things with them that might assist in their, I don't know, crazy mechanical bullshit in case they have luggage.
Yeah. And if you do need a quick getaway, you can always spur the horses on to run properly for a good run.
Okay. Then I vote that we have a nice proper lunch and pack some snacks and get on. Let's go do this.
I heard of this thing in the tavern. You put moldy cheese on like beef cuts.
I hate it.
Talking about dry aging beef now.
Blue cheese.
I hate it. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
I will eat all the blue cheese.
dude at the
In and
fucking
out of me.
steakhouse. I do not understand why so many people ordered a blue cheese crust. It smelled so fucking bad. Can't stand it.
I don't mind blue cheese until you described it that way.
Yeah, I blue cheese is fine when it's on things. But after hearing you talk about it, I don't want it anymore.
Like if you look into how the majority of anything is made that you shove into your mouth, honestly, pretty gross.
Oh,
But I'm
yeah.
capable of living in a world where I don't think about that until someone points it out to me, and then suddenly it's disgusting. Like cheese. Cheese is really gross, but I can handle it. But blue cheese, and like I can actually see the mold, not into it.
The type of
I'm
cheese
not gonna
depends though,
say-
because like you can make mozzarella in a fucking pot on your stove, and it doesn't actually take that long.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that gross until you look into what rennet is if you're not familiar already, and then it's a little bit more gross, but it's still not that bad.
Any last minute things to do in Charmander before you leave?
No.
Are we? I mean, I assume someone should go find Osborne.
Darrett says that Osborne is wrapping up and he'll meet you and catch up.
Okay. Okay. Then I don't have anything else I need to do.
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, me neither.
Darrett is successful and he does requisition some horses for you, but he says that he might have pulled all his strings for a little bit. So hopes that you guys do well so that maybe he can get some new ones to yank on. Wishes you the best, and you set off into the early afternoon, which is where we will pick up next week. Some of us have to go to bed earlier than usual, so we're going to end a little bit earlier. Next week, though, count on a fight. There was a
Ooh.
fight.
Amongst ourselves.
He's on my side of the road. He's touching me.
Nova can't
I'm not
take the
touching her. I'm not
negative
touching her. I'm not touching her. I'm not touching her.
He's got his breadcrumbs all over.
Oh, he's got the blue cheese all over my horse.
He
Oh my
ruined
God.
blue cheese for me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were gonna say dick there for some reason.
He fed blue
It didn't-
cheese to the horse, and he keeps getting in front of me, and the horse has gas.
It did cross your mind, didn't it, Yami?
It always does.
Yeah, I knew it.
I know we didn't get to hurt anything tonight, but there is certainly going to be a chance for it next week. Thank you all for showing up again, and I don't know, Scoodle-Pop-a-Dops, have a good night.
Yeah. I just realized, did you recorded this session, right, Tony?
Yes.
Well, I think that's so Blake will just be able to listen to it and catch up. I'm pretty stoked, although he might be really mad about the blue cheese thing
Why?
He's going to
because
hate
he loves blue cheese.
Well, there's no accounting for taste.
That's a good pun.
Black
actually.
and blue steaks are good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll get this posted so he can listen to it at some point in time. You guys
Oop.
all take care.
Yes.
And
Yeah, you're
see
gonna
you
hate me in the next
time.
fight, Tony.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Why am I going to hate you in the next fight?
Spell I got.
What spell did you get?
Dragon breath.
Oh, you're going to give it to your Tressum?
Yep.
It's a good spell. I really like
It's
it.
just gonna
It is.
drive by fucking like acid breath.
That's
I
cool.
had a
though.
dog that did that, then Tony killed it.
Yeah, that's,
Wait,
I'm gonna try not to use it too much, just because I assume that'll happen. But
did I kill your dog?
You killed Django, yeah. He got taken to hell, remember? That was the whole point of Cole having the second arc where he's John Wick.
I killed Django?
Yeah, you killed Django in the Xanathar fight.
All right. I mean, it just killing like dogs, like it's out of character for me, right?
I mean, he's a shadow. He, like, reforms.
He's a good boy. Listen, I'm still at like, what's his name? The other Brian that hangs out with Bailey. Him and I still have an ongoing beef because there was a Shadow Hound and I cast Reduce on it. Like the DM was like, "Oh, it's the size of a puppy." I'm like, "I'm gonna make best friends with it." And I go over and I roll animal handling, and he's like, "Yeah, you're rubbing his belly and his legs kicking. You're taming this Shadow Hound." And then he's like, "Oh, it's a shadow hound. It's gonna turn back into a real shadow hound. I kill it," and like basically killed it in my arms. Like in character,
No.
out of character, I've never forgiven him. He's probably right. It probably would have like gone back to regular size and eaten my face, but I
But
refuse
that's
to
when
admit
you let
that.
it happen, like
Yeah.
a pit bull.
Man,
Pit
rough
bulls
times.
have a really fucked up psychosis, and it's very sad.
Yeah, the only pit bulls I know are like come from like wealthy white people's homes, so they're like wealthy white women's homes. So like they're wearing bows and like they put little tutus on them and they take them with them to get their Starbucks and like they're just adorable little dogs.
I've never putting clothes on dogs has always been weird to me. Like I understand the whole like winter coat thing for dogs that don't have a natural winter coat, but I don't know, dressing up your fucking pets, it doesn't.
I think
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I think it's probably fine for like the occasional like, oh, let's take a quick holiday photo. Here's the dog with antlers on. Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
from the
don't think it's
Grinch?
gonna hurt
Oh, yeah.
them, but like
But it doesn't
They don't
appeal to
fucking
you
like
either.
it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
Yeah.
appeal to me.
Yeah. I agree. I do have an exception, and that is when it's very hot outside. I think the dog shoes that protects their pads
that's a
are
good
good.
one.
Yeah.
Like
But
honestly,
that's more for like a health and safety thing.
yeah, not just dressing things up to look. Fucking,
yeah,
Concrete's fucking hot, man, and I don't
Yeah.
want them to burn their little paws.
they're little toesies, they're little toe pads.
Yeah, I mean it's the same idea behind boots in the winter or the fucking winter coat for a dog that doesn't have a
Yeah.
winter coat. Like my mother's dog isn't a long-haired dog and needs a coat. She goes walking in the winter.
I also think that like dog haircuts are weird. Like not the ones where you just like cut the hair to like a manageable length or whatever. It's when they like give them mohawks and stuff. I'm like, this
Yeah, it's a
seems
little
weird
weird.
and unnecessary.
Yeah,
I'm not against it though. I just would never get that for my own dog.
I saw a dog grooming video on YouTube where the groomer cut it was a terrier of some sort with fairly long